Hello, everybody, and welcome to Poker Central live at the bike. Whee!
That's a nice one. I like that.
Have we got a treat for you? Doug Hole is here. Ooh. Hey, he's looking like a pirate, like normal. It's 2-3 uncapped, no limit.
No, 100 to 300.
100 to 300.
Yeah.
So we got a $2, $3 no limit game. You know, basically probably what you play at home. So pay attention to these guys because it's going to be a lot more interesting to watch them play than it would be to watch, Feder holes. You're not going to play with Feder holes. You're going to play with Doug holes.
Doug Hole.
So let's get down there and meet all the holes. Hole number 1 in the 1 hole. Look at this guy. Mountain of a man.
His name is Louis. I believe it's Louis or Lewis. Lewis.
Swap meet Louis. There he is. Looking good. Looks like maybe he rides a Harley. He's probably already talking to Doug Hole about Harley riding because Doug rides a Harley too. Nice. Friends forever.
PFFs.
Number 2 is the man, the myth, the legend, Wayno. He's looking good too. He's on a nice dress shirt. If you're on Twitter, you can start tweeting us now about the show. I'm sure the first tweet will have something to do with Wayne's comb over, like always. It's like a comb under. I don't even know what it's doing.
18.
It's got a mind of its own. Seat 3 is David. And if Doug Hole is right in his tells, David is going to be a very tight player because, as you can see, he stacked all of his chips so that the little colors match up. And players who do that generally don't plan on moving their chips.
Oh, that's such a good tell. Zoom in on that, Brian. So if you're sitting in a game and you do this with your chips, look at David's chips. See how they're all just perfectly aligned? By the way, we just started. So David sat down. He's like, I got to get right to work. I got to line them all up. And that means that you really are not going to play a hand. That's what that says.
Yes.
So
there's a high probability. It hasn't been correlated, obviously, and he could just be doing it because he's on TV or whatever.
15.
But in general, only nits do this, like incorrigible nits.
which means if you're playing against that guy and he bets, then just fold.
Yeah. Seat 4 is Nate. I'm not familiar
Nate
with
is Doug's friend, actually.
Oh, Doug's friend. Okay.
And this is Doug over in seat 5.
Yeah, there's Doug looking like a pirate biker.
What does his shirt say?
It says, I get stacked. Get stacked?
Yes, we
Yeah,
got
maybe.
it. We did it.
I mean.
Or get stacked. I bet
Get
it says
stacked.
Get stacked.
It could say something completely
Or
different.
says I get stag.
He gets staked.
I get staked.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe who would stake Doug? No, actually, he probably has him lining up.
He's just letting everyone know. I get staked.
Looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. It is Red Chip's own Doug Hole. All right, seat number 6 is Michael. Michael's been on the show a few times. Nice guy.
Michael has a style that's very interesting. He plays very few hands, but when he plays a hand, he just smashes chips in the pot.
Yeah, it's good. Tag.
We'll see if he does that tonight.
Classic tag. More like, maybe you call him like a tag spaz. Seat 7
Is missing.
is gone. We don't know who that is.
We do, though. It's going to be Matt Dorenfeld.
Oh, that's Matt Dorn. Okay, you guys already know Matt Dornfeld, the illegitimate son of George Lucas. He'll be here soon. Seat 8 is Ricky. Ricky's been on the show before. Ricky looks like Worm.
Oh, yeah.
Looks exactly like Worm
Name
from
that
Rounders.
reference. Oh, there you go. You said it.
Oh, I did.
Rounders.
Well, every poker player knows Worm.
They might not. And if you haven't watched Rounders, as someone who loves poker, you really should, because that's the only poker show I've seen where they just really get it right.
The only thing he needs is a toothpick. That's it. If he had the toothpick, he'd be exactly Worm from Rounders, and then he just could say, like, lot of action. Lot of action. And seat 9 is Charles. I don't know Charles. You know Charles?
I know Charles.
Okay, Charles.
But do we have to sing Charles in Charge again?
Charles, no. He's not in charge yet. Maybe if he gets in charge at some point, we'll be so overwhelmed with glee for Charles that we will start singing his theme song.
Okay.
And seat number 10 is your beloved dealer, Joel. Joel, who never met a quip he didn't like, especially to somebody who just lost a big pot, which tends to get him in lots of trouble.
I just saw 4 cards, by the way, there. We're not playing Omaha today for everybody who just got really scared. We play Omaha about once a month, and we played it last week. We're playing No Limit Hold'em today, 2-3 blinds, 100 to 300 buy-in. This is basically an average game that often you'll see most of the field playing. There's usually like 5 of these going at night at most casinos, sometimes more. This is a game that if you're just starting out in No Limit, you'll probably try to work your way up to. You can start in smaller buy-ins, 40, 60, 80. The problem with the smaller buy-ins is sometimes you run into, I don't know how to play because everyone just calls every hand. So sometimes this is the first level where you can actually really play poker, where people fold hands, where people make moves, where people can bluff. Maybe not a lot, but you can try. And Charles. There was an ace on board.
Chips.
So I'm surprised Charles was actually thinking that long, but he did. All in from Ricky with his aces full.
And he showed the aces, which I wouldn't have done.
Change out the 2 purples and
Unless he just plans on never playing a hand tonight.
Thank you.
If your guy, if you obviously have the deck completely crippled, you know that your opponent is thinking it was just some dumb hand. It means your opponent probably really hates folding. So don't make him feel good about his laydown. Make him feel weird about it. Maybe even give him a little needle.
What's a needle?
A needle would be like, wow, you folded there, wow. And then you fold your hand and you're like, wow, what did you have? What did you lay down there? What'd you have?
That was a good pocket queens. That was a good hand.
Whoa, you folded queens there? Whatever. Get out of here. No. I ain't falling for that.
Make him think that you didn't have
how could you fold queens there? It's a double-paired board. I would bet there was king high. Then you just start the little needle train. And it's all complete bullshit, and yet 1% of them thinks it's true, and it eats away at them like a little tiny rock in their shoe until after a while, it's just the most painful thing ever.
And then they have to call you next time.
Yeah.
And next time, you still have the nuts.
You still have it because you're a good poker player at the 2-3 limit, and you just don't bluff.
Yeah. Because you always have it. So it's working on your mind games, too, because when you're playing a strong game, you should always have it. But when you always have it, then it's really hard to get called sometimes, too. So you've got to find other ways to get called.
You got to put a lot of little rocks in people's shoes. You think everyone knows you're lying. That's the important part. They all know you're lying, but it doesn't matter because it's like Chinese water torture. That little tiny irritation just grows and grows and grows.
They're trying to kill the room. They're really doing their damn. Yeah.
Like what?
They've increased the rate, cut the comps. They're reducing the size of the room, and Sheldon Aldous, whatever his name is.
Doug Hole's down there telling the table that the Venetian's screwing up their poker room. They've increased the rake and lowered the number of tables. Well, we haven't done that here at the beautiful Bicycle Hotel and Casino. The rake has just remained its standard usury rate, and number of tables may have actually increased.
Very minimal.
I'm not saying
Nobody knows what usury means. Someone will look it up now.
Abe is a human dictionary.
I was really into spelling bees when I was a kid. Ooh, I was such a nerd.
Did you win?
Yes.
Nice.
Heads up.
But then, the Indian kids are like so much better. Then you're really good at it till you meet an Indian kid, and you're like, oh, give me a break.
15.
15 from Ricky. Louis has a 9. He's coming along. Ricky with a gutter. And boom. Just like that, he hits it. Nice life.
20.
Ricky continues. Bets 20.
The win is beautiful.
Louis now has open-ended with his 9. He's going to call. Not concerned about 3 spades. And he hits his straight.
So much, but the layout is exceptional. The old room, there's much
And Ricky
better
just
eye
continuing to go for value.
60.
Lewis really can't call it here.
It's still pretty good.
What about the size comparison?
The 28 table is huge.
Yeah, is it bigger than the old room?
The old one was pretty big.
But he wants to.
I want to say the old
The
one
problem is he's just dead to a chop. He's praying for a chop here at this point.
He's what for a chop?
When the girl
Praying.
Saturday night, yeah, the Outman.
And then he gets the bad
There
news.
was a time when the dancers would, their changing room was through the poker room. So,
Ricky doing all right so far.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fine.
You're so fun. You blow my mind on Ricky.
There he is, Ricky Worm. Ricky Worm.
Thank you.
Very good in the old room anyway, so I'm sure the new room is even better probably.
yeah, the wind's a great spot.
All sorts of things.
You don't like the new.
Doug now saying the
I mean,
Win is the
it's
place to
straddles
be
on.
instead of Venetian.
Yeah, when I was in Vegas last, I saw the new Win room. It's really, really nice, like sort of ridiculously
Straddles
nice.
on.
The casino's really poo-poo poker, but the thing is like, yeah, if you compare it to like Baccarat and Blackjack, why do you compare it? Why
Yeah.
not just enjoy multiple revenue streams? I never understood that.
Well,
20.
Steve Wynn is the original guy who loved poker. He's the only guy. When there was no poker, Wynn would still put poker in his casinos. The Mirage being the famous one.
Uh-oh, we got to get back to that.
Nope,
This
Kings
was a
versus
straddled
aces.
pot, 2, 3, 6. Right under the gun, Wayne has aces. He makes it 20. Charles is not in charge.
No, Charles is going to get
Poor
tapped
Charles.
here,
He had queens against aces
Yep.
first hand.
but
Now he has
against-
kings.
Yeah, he's running really bad here.
Charles is not in charge.
65.
Wayne's pretending like he's looking at his phone. What? Oh, is there a hand going on?
Wait a second. Race.
It's just classic.
All in and a call.
But it didn't do him any good. All of his like acting did no good because the guy was going to call him no matter what. Look at Charles is like, get
Are
me
you
out of
kidding
here.
me?
Oh, and then there's just an ace there. So now
Diamond.
he's just
Nope.
basically stone dead.
Charles is, yep, lamenting, commiserating, telling everybody got kings versus aces and queens versus aces. And it is bad luck when that happened in the first 13
Yeah.
minutes of the game.
He got queens and kings both times against aces. That's a mess.
That stinks. But that's the name of the game. That's how it goes sometimes. In poker, you just keep your head in there. That's why you have a bankroll behind you. You don't come with just one buy-in.
Right.
And you keep playing. So stick around. We got a lot more poker action coming up right after this.
Oh, no, we use live drinks for the booth, but on Poker Central night, no drinking in the booth.
Bonus time for the
Oh, wait.
fans. Oh,
Abe is saying there's no drinking in the booth for a poker central night.
Abe is saying that?
I mean, Doug.
Abe doesn't say that.
Doug, I meant.
Doug says that.
I hear him talking to somebody.
There is absolutely no drinking during Poker Central. But since this is a commercial, I can have a nice swig of this beer right here.
On commercial, you can do whatever you want.
Took me a little while to get used to that as well. 15.
Another big hand. Pocket nines against ace, king of clubs.
Not yet.
Oh, here they come. Look at
They're
this.
thirsty.
Very serious things going on.
50. In need of lubrication.
15 from Doug, 50 from Ricky. Just quick fold from Doug. Must have some background information on Ricky.
Yeah, he's not viewing Ricky as loose at all. He saw Ricky show those aces earlier.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yep.
Stack size is also quite small. Doug only has 280. So making a call there is
Yeah.
suggesting you're committing your stack at that point.
Yeah, calling 35 with 280 behind is bad news for set mining. It would be okay if he felt he could win the pot sometimes unimproved. But he's out of position, which makes that harder.
Four players.
Limped around pot. This is something that we suggest, and I haven't seen it in a while. You know what? I think our viewers are paying attention,
10.
and I don't rarely see a limped around pot
No,
in 2-3 anymore.
Not on Live at the Bike.
No. And in real live poker, they're constantly limping
Right.
at the 2-3 level, and it's awful for your game. I often see on the show that there's never a limped around pot, which is just great. You should always come in for a raise, especially at this limit, if not everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that you could start to consider coming in for a limp is if there's just something very strange about the
20.
game. Like every pot's going 5 ways and it all revolves around one player. Like in the Armenian Gary game, you could just limp hands to Armenian Gary because racing just does no good.
The James or the golden hand?
Ricky
That is
just
a
on
blind,
fire.
And the golden hand is a golden, and I like that one. 60. That's the one I prefer.
You're going to want in games like that where you have one like really giant action player, you can start looking at limping your marginal holdings because you do want to play basically every hand against them, but you don't want to constantly be getting like 3 or 4 bet, these big 3 or 4 bet
Correct.
action, knowing that everybody at the table is like also trying to bushwhack that same player. But in the standard games, like you said, you basically should always open for a raise.
Check. Thank you. What's up? Coming in for 3.
And you are transported out of commercial
Jets
and into the beautiful Bicycle Hotel and Casino in lovely Bell Gardens, California.
Matt is in seat 9, 300
In-
behind.
Amazing, crystal clear, HD quality. It almost feels like you're at the table. You can smell
Now
the
that's
musky
practical service.
leather and pirate cap of Doug Hall.
Sitting at the black felt battlefield.
15.
You can almost smell Doug Hall. He's been on the road for 6 to 8 hours on a motorcycle coming across the desert. Bugs in his teeth.
Last night.
So, did we get a new player?
Not yet. Matt has moved to seat 9.
Looked
Matt
like-
has joined us and
Heads
moved
up.
over to seat 9 instead of seat 7.
Charles did the one and done. So no wonder he was so upset. He brought
27.
one bullet and like everything
That
went
is
wrong.
15.
Feel bad for Charles.
Heads up.
Hopefully he can come back again. Have better luck next time.
Check.
Ricky and Doug playing this hand. Checking it. Check, 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 check. And Doug is good.
Check.
This is something that everybody should be paying attention to here. When you see a player that will let you show down ace high as a winner, a little bell needs to go off in your head. He had position on Doug. He decided to play with him, and he let him show down ace high as a winner.
Never went for the pot.
Never made so everybody at the table now should be like, oh.
Maybe Doug knows that, which is why he
Yeah.
also did not play when he
Right.
was re-raised by him.
A person who will let you who has position on you and will just let you show down ace high as a winner is somebody that you mark at the table. And so right now, I would put a little mental note next to Ricky Worm. Let's say, oh, Ricky Worm. Ricky Worm, you're never going to get a penny from me, Ricky Worm.
Where would you put that note?
12.
I don't know.
Store it right under.
It would be stored somewhere in there, in the deep recesses. Because it's just a rare thing. When you see somebody do a rare thing,
Stored under rare finds.
yeah, you can extrapolate a lot of things from it. You don't just know that he won't bet his hand. You don't just know that he won't bluff. You don't just know that he will obviously let a player that obviously has him beat just take the pot. You know all those things and more because you know the exact opposite of all those things too. So when you see somebody do something that's just like one of those things, you can start to attribute a lot of plays to them. Ricky seems sort of like a nice guy. He showed the other guy the aces when he lost and stuff. He lets the other. He just like checks down ace high. And a situation where he knows he's behind. And maybe I think he has a leather jacket. You know, he has like sort of a little bit of a tough guy look. I think he needs to take on that persona a bit more. We'll make him some more money in a couple of these spots.
75.
Wayne 3-betting, getting 4-bet by Michael, and just insta-mucking.
Michael, like I said, is super tight and then just goes balls out with a hand.
Right.
And so Wayne knows that about Michael. He's like, screw it. He's like, I'm pretty much chopping at best here. Didn't know, obviously, Michael had. He had Michael dominated.
Right. And he has position. I don't like Wayne's fold there. If you're out of position, I can see it. Like if you have a really good read on your opponent, but in position, I mean, your read has to be so strong that his range is exactly like aces, kings, and queens. That and maybe you could take queens out. I mean, and obviously his read isn't that good because the guy just did it with ace queen.
I don't think there are too many Greek individuals in the kitchen.
That might be true. Do we have one at the table?
Make it 10.
10 from Wayne with ace 10 of hearts.
A gyro.
Well, I didn't even try and pronounce it correctly.
Actually, Euro, you're right. It's Euro, not gyro, but still down.
I know that, but
Heads
I
up.
figured between the language barrier, I was quite happy.
At least the menu says what it is. It's just you just don't
15.
see it there. Got a bad beat on a
Check.
gyro as well.
Wayne trying to get Doug to barrel off here. Looks like it's going to work.
Doug is obliging.
Doug views this so far as a good bluffing run out for him. He doesn't expect his opponent to have an ace with the way the hand was played. I think he's probably getting a hint of the bad news here, that his opponent probably has a 9, and he's just not going to fold it. But Doug's going to turn the 8 into a bluff here.
He's getting no hint. No
did
hint.
not get the hint. He's going to use this spade as a way to try to get his opponent to fold a 9. Little does he know that his opponent does not have a 9. His opponent has 3 aces.
That surprises me.
And Doug says, that surprises me. And he's like, what? What? Wayne just never made a play at the pot on a board that was double flushing with trip aces. Never made any attempt to win the pot. And so it ends up being basically perfect situation for Wayne because he doesn't end up paying off a flush on the end, which is basically sort of what he thought he was doing because he was all sad when he threw the money in. He's like, oh, I just checked my way into paying off a flush or an ace of the better kicker or full house.
I'm drawing a picture of Wayne for him right now.
Pictures of Wayne. Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm going to save it
This
for
is
him.
straddle, $6.
They like it.
I don't like big words I have to Google.
You don't like
I
what?
don't like big words I have to Google.
Get the menu, please.
Looks like we have a new player locked up in the seat. Coming on over.
It is a straddle.
Anybody can play in this game. Go to liveatthebike.com. Click on calendar. Check out our upcoming schedule. And make a reservation.
300.
You too
40
can play
is
live
the
at the bike
raise.
and on Poker Central.
There's no history there.
Terrible man.
Should we know the new guy?
Name is John. John bought in for the max amount, 300. 2 3 blinds. David's going to raise this. Oh, no, David's going to limp
David's
in with pocket nines. I would suggest a raise here, but he's going to limp. There's John.
I think it's David's first hand maybe that he's played. He's living up to what we expected with the chips all in a row.
12.
Good point. I forgot David was the chip stacker.
Yep, he is.
Makes sense.
He is playing very tight passive. He induces
Raises announced.
a raise here.
He's going to limp
And
re-raise.
he's gonna pull the LRR.
Wow.
5-2, 52.
Ricky tried to ISO the limper and got re-smacked. I don't actually like David's hand for that limp re-raise. I don't like it at all. The type of hands that you want to limp re-raise with usually like have an ace or a king in them. I mean, what's he really? I don't know. I mean, some people say like small pairs are good for plays like that. I don't really consider that a small pair. I think that a better play with that hand is just to come in raising.
I agree.
You would like food service again?
I think he sort of made that
Okay.
into like more of a mess than he had to.
Because he came in here 3 times. That's why.
He ends up just
That's
turning it
fine.
into a bluff.
That's fine. I'm sorry, guys. Jeez. Changing 500. Here's 50 cents. 3 to call. Can
We
get
saw in
food
an
service,
earlier
please?
show, like a few months ago, Zach Elwood employed the limp re-raise strategy, and he always did it with an
Make
ace
it,
or a king in his hand.
Gotta
Hands
have
like
fun,
king
man.
10 suited, king queen, ace 4 suited. Those are the good limp re-raising hands if you think that people are going to ISO your limps. Like somebody's just like ISOing light all the time.
Seat 3, please. Check.
They have a blocker in them. They have good playability if called.
12. Would anybody else like food service while he is
Pocket
here?
nines don't fit that description.
You want anything, Matt? I'm buying. I can't respond. Look who's treating to a free meal.
Lewis raises here with 2 pair.
67.
Ricky has an ace with no kicker.
67 total.
This is the second hand in a row that Ricky's gotten basically check raised. He's probably getting a little upset by it all. And he is upset. He just
and
overships all in, but it's because Lewis has had no money. He's praying Lewis has spades. Lewis does not have spades, and it's over. Ace Trey wins.
Shut up. Shut up. Nobody asked you. Anybody ask you?
131 total.
Testy, testy.
Count your money, be happy.
Is there like a real little argument going on over there, or is
No,
there? It's a fake argument. Damn it!
Show up, we'll calm your 100 right now. You can try to
I was hoping that maybe there was like an actual real little thing going on between Dornfeld and Lewis, but it looks like they're having a fun fake argument.
Yeah, they're actually good friends, I believe.
Boo!
We don't come here for fun, fake arguments.
No, he hits all of mine. I totally.
If you take all of his money, I'll tip you, okay?
Today in my game at the casino, there was a huge, monstrous rage argument.
But did anybody stand up and karate chop somebody in the chest?
Not this time.
I've
no.
seen that before.
Oh, I've had things thrown at me, lots of death threats, and I've seen physical altercations. But this one didn't quite get to physical. The 2 guys were like very old,
Let's get physical.
and they were just like sort of like that old man shake rage.
Yeah.
So mad at each other, screaming at each other that they were cheaters and angle shooters. It was really good. I loved it. I was like, yes, so good.
Eight. 25.
Lewis raises it with 9-4 suited, sort of like a button steal type thing. Immediately gets 3-bet by Wayne. And, this is sort of like, you probably shouldn't even be button, like trying to steal the blinds, opening the button with his hand. I mean, it's just such bottom of the barrel. And
we do recommend opening your range on the button, but I mean,
Yeah.
9-8,
Yeah.
9-7,
Yeah.
connected at least would be better.
Maybe even like 4-5, but not 9-4.
Yes.
9-4 has no playability, and he's smart. He just lets it go. That's one of the worst things that you can do is get stubborn. A lot of players, the reason why they lose, they just continue to lose because they get stubborn. They don't know when to say, like, okay, everything went wrong, abandon, fold.
Get back into business.
Yes.
Right the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe not abandon it. Right it.
Well, abandon that play.
Yes. All right. Okay, we're going to take a really quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
My shirt's such a mess.
Let's get physical. I want to get physical. What's the next words?
Let me hear your body talk. Let me hear your body
That's
talk.
kind of sexy.
Your body talk.
Let me hear your body talk. Body talk.
Why do I know that?
That's
It's
a
so
sexy
stupid.
song. That's a song for sexy time.
That's
It is? I'm just learning the system.
Heads up. We're good.
Doug back in business against Ricky.
Check.
Ricky has been playing a lot of hands.
I
47% of his hands.
That's what I thought. I mean,
Actually, I like those are my favorite.
He's caught a couple hangers, Sarge.
if I'm wrong, I mean,
40.
it's
No,
like
no, no,
actually-
it's
Right here, he's going to try and take Doug off the best hand, and does. Too many overs came for Doug to continue. Too many cards in the playing zone.
Thank you.
Let's get physical.
Small blind, please, sir.
New player John. Haven't seen him before.
Nope.
I'll talk to him tonight. 10.
Wayne deciding that he wants to raise it up with 8-4 suited. Everybody going very aggressively after the blinds.
35.
But they're learning that people just don't give up their blinds anymore. He gets snapped 3-bet by Jack Queen, and he has to fold. I would never have tried that play that Wayne just did. A, his hand's just crap. And B, the blinds are a professional poker player and one of his students. You really think you're going to pick on their blinds? They're both going to have balanced 3-bet ranges. So that was just dumb.
You're dumb.
It's like the camera. It's Wayne. Yeah, we're in commercial. All right, do the Wayne's knees voice.
Oh, yeah. We got to do that. Definitely got to get that in again.
Yeah. Hey.
You can practice.
15.
Yeah, I'll practice.
Okay.
Mommy, why is Uncle Wayne open raising 8-4 suited into a small and big blind that are a professional poker player and his student?
Heads up.
Won't those people have balanced 3-bet ranges out of the blinds and make his life a living hell if he's opening so light? Yes, daughter.
25.
She learns. All right, everybody. In the middle of a hand here with Matt and Wayne.
60.
Classic flip. but it's a flip no longer, as Matt is way ahead. Wayne's gone Whifferkins.
Whifferkins.
We saw Wayne fold ace-king incorrectly earlier, pre-flop. Now he got a little too sticky with it. But that's no big deal. Wayne did the best he could there. He laid it down at the right time. He knows that
Thank you, everybody.
young
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Dornfeld is
Joe.
rarely out of line. And there it is. The live at the bike splash page.
I'll make you wait the 9.5.
That's right. You know your online lingo.
Oh, yeah. Head on over there and sign up, liveatthebike.com. Use code POKER for 7 days free. We heard there might be some choppiness with the Poker Central feed tonight. We're getting some tweets that say the feed is choppy. So if you're getting a choppy feed but you want to watch this show smooth as silk, smooth as a baby's bottom, just go to Live at the Bike and watch it in the archives. Maybe 2 hours from now, it'll be in the archives, and you can watch it at your own leisure.
That's my word.
Is it? Do you say leisure?
Mm-hmm. You've subconsciously.
Yeah, they've stolen it from you subconsciously.
That's what happens when you hang out with somebody too much.
That's the way Bart gets all his strategy tweets.
I call and then turn. I'm like, oh, I got like half the world at that. He's like, ship it, set. Nice. I have a flush draw.
Hear Wayne talking.
Yeah, Wayne's down there giving some strat. Wayne the water bear.
Run Poker Central app, it doesn't even run.
Now everybody at the table is complaining about the Poker Central app. Oh, I love it. This is, you know what? This isn't just a poker game. This is a Poker Central focus group every week. Every week. This is like people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to host focus groups. All Poker Central would have to do is just listen to the players every week talk about them, and they would get a free focus group because it's literally all correct and the same every week. These are motivated people who really, 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 really want to watch Poker Central, and yet you get the same complaints every week.
55.
They're meant to be on cable. Unfortunately, they're not. Oh, no. Matt and Doug, kings and aces again, twice in one show.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 times, really. Queens against aces,
Yeah.
same thing.
Same thing.
Queens against aces, kings against aces, and again, kings against aces.
And this is sort of an interesting thing here because Doug looks like he could be squeezing because there's all these calls in between. This is just like seals Matt's fate completely. Yep, just completely sealed his fate because Doug's range is pretty wide open here. Nate also thinks that Doug is squeezing, but he's like, what can I do? There's already another guy. Doug can't get his money in fast enough. Doug's, look how happy he is.
He's like, he throws it over like, here you go, brother.
He's like a kid at Christmas. He's so happy.
He got his hand on his, I wish I would have
Time tonight, let's see what happens again.
He had his hand on his chin. He's like, oh, life's good.
Yeah. And then here comes the king. Well,
Maximum pain.
no.
Oh my god, I probably got shot.
Wayne. Oh!
They did it!
Oh, they did it! Look at Doug! Oh, the agony of defeat! Oh, poor. Look at now he's just throwing chips. He went from literally the happiest man in the world to the saddest man in the world. Look at him. He's looking up at the sky like, God, Jesus, can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. I hate that. I really do hate that. Because when it happens to me, I hate it. And so I have empathy. And it just feels horrible.
It sure does.
Because it's not just like you're going like, oh, you know, I feel okay about this spot. It's going from feeling as good as you can possibly feel about any spot in basically all of poker to just being fucking crushed. Dashed against the rocks like a ship without a sail in a stormy sea. This is when I usually like order a beer.
Massage. That's when I like to get a massage at the table. Put my headphones in, get a little massage, get myself back in the game.
It's the third time.
I order a beer, rebuy for the absolute minimum, and just wallow in my sorrow for 11 and a half minutes.
Queens against aces and kings against aces.
The ace is no good unless you flop the
I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Yeah, just spread them out like a. Raise it. 36.
Unless the game is really good, and then I'm just like buck it up and just keep smashing forward. But this game isn't so good. I mean, it's a good game to watch if you're at home because there's a lot of good players making a lot of good plays for such a small amount. But as far as like $2, $3 games go, I would
you
be
sit in this game?
No, table change.
Right.
Snap table change. Like people 3-betting and 4-betting out of the blinds, and no limp pods. 0%. This looks like a 5-10 game, just with a lot less chips.
Nate makes a continuation bet with his ace-king high and takes it down. Gonna guess Lewis had something like king-queen, king-10, queen-jack. Runners that hit nothing, just like ace-king hit nothing.
Matt left the table. He coolered Wayne and was like, okay, I'm out of here.
He did, and he has his big blind in there, so he's still around somewhere.
He probably said, I'll throw in my big blind. I don't care. I'm going to be out, having a celebratory champagne. My night is over.
Copy. Do me a favor. Don't use this no more. Straight across it. It affects the. It won't read it when the metal. The silver or whatever silver it is.
Silver doesn't work out either?
Well, it's affecting on C1.
Oh, okay.
Raise it to 15.
Lewis raises it up.
I like it. It's a big size, though. It doesn't need to be quite
way
that
too
much.
Big. Way, way too big. This is like $7 maybe.
In a way, the ace king kind of got rid of my mistake against Wayne because I would have lost it all against him anyway. It's kind of like it evens out.
Doug is down there.
I was gonna lose all the money anyway.
He's trying to figure out a way that it all worked out right.
Make it all make sense in his mind. Because it just doesn't make sense that aces should
I
lose to
just lost
kings.
that money to you anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I like him better anyway, so I'm glad he got it.
Poor Wayne.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug's had a rough night. First he tried to bluff. First he bluffed off all his money, and then he got coolered. This is not the way he wanted this to start. Doug's basically throwing a party down there. He's down
11.
Almost 2 buy-ins.
Lots of big hands tonight. Sometimes you go nights and just never see aces, kings, queens. Ace, king. It's all we're seeing tonight.
Yep. Nate is trying to decide what Matt's up to. He hasn't really seen Matt. He knows he watches the show if he's one of Doug's students, meaning he's watched a lot of these shows. He knows that Matt's really never out of line.
110.
But he's still going to 4-bet.
The stacks are so shallow here. It's just this is just sort of academic. Matt is out of position here. And he decides to fold it.
I don't hate it. There's not a lot of 4-bets at this level that are usually ace-king.
Right.
But Matt doesn't know Nate or that Nate is a player with Doug. And so in absence of that information, it's very on the line. And Matt decides to give it up.
Yeah, I mean, if Matt thinks it's only aces and kings and maybe ace-king suited or something, he has to put no 4-bet bluffs in the guy's range, no light 4-bets in his range.
Which at this level is best to do because most people do not have it. You just don't have the ability to play it with stacks this small.
Yeah. Generally that's true. Since the guy is a poker student, though, I would consider his range probably slightly more balanced there. I mean, the stacks are so shallow. It's whatever.
Yeah, it just he doesn't know that, right? Matt may not know that.
Yeah.
Raise it at 10.
If Matt flats there,
Oh man, you gotta keep it in a circle.
he can pick off all the C-bets on
Call.
small boards. He can fold on C-bets on
Heads
ace-high
up.
boards, king-high boards. I mean,
Check.
you have to find your opponent to be pretty damn tight to fold queens there.
15. Call. Check.
Lewis calling on a gutter
Check.
against John. Why is John checking behind? I'm not quite sure. I guess because it's a third spade, but here's the problem. This is why you can't check behind and just instantly give your opponent a flush. Because now a fourth spade comes off, which means what? Either you lost the hand or you lost the action.
25.
And if John folds this, it'll be very unfortunate, and it is.
When the third spade comes off, you just can't be that scared because what it is just a classic bet fold spot. And in a classic bet fold spot, you don't have to bet very big. Your opponent is never going to bluff there. Standard opponent isn't.
After you bet, you mean?
Yeah.
Check, raise, bluff.
Yep. So that small bet will work as a combo bet. It will get value from hands that have one spade in it that are behind you. It might even get value from like a weaker ace who's just like, that's a small bet. But if they do have a flush, they're always going to raise you because they're afraid you have a big spade in your hand. And then you just fold because you couldn't never improve to beat them anyway. So the bet doesn't hurt you. The bet hurts you if you bet ace queen there with the ace of spades in your hand and then the guy ships on you and you're like, now I have to fold away all this goddamn equity. You have no. His hand has no equity there if it win raised.
There's no jackpot at this table, right?
I'm prepared to enjoy my loss.
Getting your points, your points.
Wayne's got 1, 2, 3 drinks.
Yeah, he's got 3 drinks
Gotta
and
stay hydrated.
a bunch of locks.
Lox
I
and
don't know
bagel.
if that's like a good decision at the casino. I wouldn't go with like
Raw fish.
raw smoky fish.
They have sushi at casinos.
Oh God, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, that's what I always said. My husband loves it. It's like, oh, it's so good. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Okay. All right.
I saw your husband today. I don't know if it's eating sushi at the casino or hanging out with you, but he has all gray hair now. What happened to the poor guy? I remember when he was like this young, strapping lad with beautiful blonde locks from Nebraska right off the boat. Now he's like just an old, angry old man. You did it.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't tell him that he's super like wigged out about it. I always tell him to grow his hair out because his hair is awesome, but it is very gray now. And she's like, no, I don't have too many grays. Like, so what? Like, it looks great. Your hair looks great.
He's regal.
Not really.
He's 43 now. He just had a birthday.
There you go. See, you just have to go with it. Whatever your body does, you can't fight it. You just gotta go with
everyone gets older.
it. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. He's like the grand old man of limit poker now.
He always gets like the marine cut in his hair, and it's so ugly. I'm like, what are you doing? You have such nice hair. You're going to be bald someday, and you're going to be so mad that you shaved your head your entire life.
He's not going to be bald. If he's not bald now, he's not going to be bald.
So I had aces versus kings.
It can happen later, right?
I don't think
No,
he's.
it's
No,
about
most
to
people
come
have.
out.
Most male pattern baldness happens like late 30s, early 40s. It's already gone.
Well, he'll have nice
Going.
hair that no one will ever see because he
35.
doesn't
he'll
ever
see
grow it out.
Right. He always has on a
He like
hat.
shaves it marine cut style.
Well, he usually has a hat like 95% of the time.
No, it's a guy I went to college with, high school.
Michael gets aces and no love. He's like, what? What? Nobody called me? I only raised 40, 2, 3, 40.
So I know. Usually I'm not here without him, so I'm crashing at his place this week. So
I think they're down there talking about Random Asian Guy. Yeah, where is Random Asian Guy? Him and Doug are usually connected at the hip.
Bit of the Mirage, a lot of Caesars.
Last time I went to Mirage, if you get like 4 of a kind or something, or like a Royal Flush, you get like did a slot machine, you get
Oh,
money.
that's such a stupid promotion.
$10.
And then 3.
Do you know how astronomical it is that thing ever pays off?
My friend and his wife actually got it.
Raise it.
Like in one trip.
I don't know if we're talking about the same one.
I don't know.
So if you get quads
35.
or better,
John
you
raises
get
it up to 10.
in a game,
David 3-bets him.
one spin, and you have to get the same.
I like this.
Oh, you have to get the same hand.
I'm a
Okay,
fan
maybe
of
I
both
did.
players at
Might
this
be.
point.
I don't know. He got his spin. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, you can get a spin.
And John just
I don't know
snap
how-
folds.
I
Like,
don't
people
remember
are
what
folding
no
big
idea
pairs
that
so
this
quickly
was
tonight.
Never ever going to happen.
Yeah, John, we thought that David was going to be tight. John has just
But they can't get rid
not
of
gone at all
Well, they're both
after his
very
ace
tight.
queen, his tens. He just insta folds.
Right.
So far, from small sample size, I've seen John be
Give it away.
too tight.
Get this off our.
The loosest player at the table is seat 1 Lewis. And he hasn't been playing that loose. Everybody's playing super tight. David has a 10% VPIP. Nate 13%. Doug 17%. Michael 6%. John 13%. Very, very tight. Very locked down. A lot of 3 and 4 betting pre, and a lot of folds of big hands. Not seeing flops. Nobody here is trying to take one off. They're all, trying to play really good poker. Now Ricky raises it up with hockey sticks and picks it up.
So guys, tell me other Jewish thing.
Are you becoming Jewish now?
No, I just like listening. I wanna see.
Just because we're away.
Welcome back, everybody.
Well, Matt told me
Get
it
some
was, so-
tweets rolling in now.
That's the stubby sandwich, Frank.
Let's see if any of them are things I can read on the air.
I've been there.
See, of course, the first tweet is about Wayne's comb over.
Well, it's because I did tweet out the picture of Wayne that I drew.
Wayne has a full head of hair, ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to check out that picture that I just drew of Wayne, the sketch, you can check out my Twitter.
Greg Sullivan asks, why does the dealer look like he should be in a barbershop quartet? Well, that's their new digs, man. You not enjoying it?
I have to. I go to In-N-Out.
See what's happened over the chips today. Every time it's hit, it's against aces.
Get the bacon double cheeseburger.
Have you guys been to Izzy's Deli in Santa Monica?
They're good.
I love that place, but like if you go on Yelp, it's got like a terrible rating. I don't know
look
why.
at the Yelp. I'll look at the pictures itself, but not the ratings. The ratings
Okay, I'll
are-
show you the pictures. Like I swear by that place. There's 24 hours too.
Oh, really? The ratings are just complete BS.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't pay attention. I'm just saying that.
The
Like,
pictures are what I look at. Izzy's?
I literally look at the menu and I can't decide what to get. That's how good it is. let me
Never happened to me.
Wayne goes to this crappy deli in Santa Monica called Izzy's, and there's such a better deli in Santa Monica called Bay Cities, which is just like one of the best delis in the world.
Like, dude, give him my
In the world?
Yes.
I love when you say stuff like that.
No.
It's like, I've been all over the world, and there's no better deli.
I've been to many countries, many cities, I've had many cold cut trays and charcuterie plates.
and it's the best in the world.
It's one of. Bay Cities is amazing.
Okay, now it's one of. Okay, all right.
I did always say one of. I don't
No,
think it's the
you said
best.
the best in the
No, I definitely don't think it's the best, but it's one of.
That,
That's how you spell it, right?
yeah. Izzy's Deli. Well, I mean, I'll show you the pictures.
What about that other deli that's big here that,
It's like roll the faces over Kings.
is it called deli or, you know what it is.
I'm sure I do. I mean, the other are like Jewish delis. Bay Cities is not a Jewish deli. It's an Italian deli.
Oh, okay.
Jewish deli would be like Langer's.
That's like
Langer's makes
it looks like
And
the
who-
best pastrami in the world.
Oh, gosh.
In-
Here he
like
goes
this,
again.
no, but this one I am claiming in the world. I'm not saying one of.
You did
No.
claim the other one
No,
in the
no,
world,
no,
too.
no,
Yes, you
no,
did.
no,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes, yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes.
no, no. Definitely
Somebody
not.
go
100%
back,
no.
rewind
I
the
said
tape.
one of.
100% no?
I'm going to say 90%.
100% no?
Can you spread the
One of.
your hand out a little bit?
One of.
That's not what you
Spread your
said.
hand out.
Yes, one of the
Thank you so
best.
much.
Now I'm going to have to watch this show.
Yeah, you're going to go back and watch it and
Yes.
find out that you were wrong.
No, I say one of.
Chuck.
But Langer's has the best pastrami in the world.
16.
Rivaled by Katz's in Brooklyn, but Langer's is better.
16 from David. Lewis gets out of the way.
That's okay, right? Yeah, exactly.
Wayne, the big winner so far tonight.
This from you guys. I mean,
Wayne's sliding his phone around to show people pictures of food that he's eaten.
Matt.
This is a poker game. Look at this. They should be sliding around pictures of chicks they've banged, not cold cut plates.
They often talk
This
about
is
food.
the nittiest freaking game. They're sliding around pictures of cold cut plates.
Oh, at Panda?
And they're laughing about it.
Yeah.
Looks good.
No, I'm just because maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Nobody's ordered a drink yet. This game is, you know how I always say a game's officially out of the muck? This game is still officially in the muck. Something needs to happen to get this game out of the muck.
Even all the aces against kings, queens, etc. has not gotten the game out of the muck.
No, nobody's tilted. Everyone's still playing pretty good. Tight, aggressive game. These guys watch too much live at the bike. They're too good at poker.
That is a problem.
We're victims of our own success.
Yes.
They don't listen to us and play well now.
$6.
That's why we need to get in like the uncapped 10-20 players. They don't listen to us. They're too cool. Too cool to listen to Abe and Nicole.
Well, they think they're better than us.
Yeah,
that's why.
they don't want to listen. They don't want to gamble. I don't think any of them really think they're better. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
King on the river, I think. We don't see it up there yet. There it is. Lewis is going to bet his trip jacks.
20.
David just called with his ace king. And sees the bad news.
Thank you.
Yeah, I never told you that.
I mean, that's like, right? There's a Salmon Benedict. Well, I'm just saying it looks good. I mean, tomatoes with Holland dogs.
Button over in seat 1 with Lewis. Lewis or Louis? I think I've been saying it both ways tonight.
I've gone there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we know anybody for sure? Lewis or Louis? It's both. They're like it's both. All right, good, because I'm giving them both.
They actually have free parking.
Could be
Kind of a secret.
both. I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Like, yeah, everywhere else.
Lewis usually has a U and an O in it, right? Lewis, or does Louis not have an S on the end? I don't know.
Best top secret in the world.
$10.
Out there to the right.
We can just call him Lou.
Let's just shorten it, so we don't have to worry about it.
Lou is easier.
It's definitely not. Lou is definitely not his name, but that's what we're gonna call him.
No, it's his nickname. If your name's Lewis, your nickname has to be Lou.
It has to be.
Has to be.
It's a rule.
What else would it be?
It's not true.
What else would a nickname be for
What?
somebody named Lewis?
You can have any nickname you want.
No, you can't
Doesn't
have
to
any
be.
nickname
Yes,
you
you
want.
can.
No. If your name
What
is
are you
Robert,
talking
your
about?
nickname is Bob. If
Or
your name
Rob,
is Nicole, if your name is
or
Nicole,
Robbie, or
if-
Bobby.
If your name's Nicole, then your nickname
or
is Nick.
Fart Face, if you want.
No.
You can have any
If your
nickname
name's
you
Abraham,
want.
your nickname's Abe. You can't. No, it just is what it is. That's it's a nickname. It's a short name.
You are not the boss of the whole world. You can have any nickname you want.
No.
I have to tell my
Absolutely not.
I have to tell my kids this all the time.
No.
You're not the boss of the
No.
world.
The world has rules.
The world-
there are rules.
There's no rules about
There-
nicknames.
No, there are rules. The world. You can't just go around like people don't fly. Fish don't dig in the ground. And if your name is Lou, your nickname is not Bob. It's Lou.
I walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah, but there's rules.
I don't listen.
This
to
isn't
your rules.
Nam. There's rules here.
I don't listen to your rules.
They're
David
not
bets
my rules. They're
40.
the rules of the universe.
I'm surprised actually David bets 40 on this river with his fours, with his perfectly manicured stack, and I'm also surprised Ricky's thinking about calling here. Must be getting a read off of David. David probably feels like he's bluffing.
Yeah.
Actually, and Ricky must be noticing that.
Yeah. David's trying to get, I guess, a 5 or a 7 to fold. And Ricky feels like he's trying to get him to fold. A little table chatter. I think he asked, do you want me to fold? Very interesting. David's sitting perfectly stoic. Wow, what a call by Ricky! Ace high call down. Whoa, these guys are playing so far above the rim.
But he's not good, though.
Oh.
You know that, right?
Oh, damn it. He's not good.
You got very excited, but the ace high is no good.
I thought the board was double paired.
No.
Okay, Ricky. You played good still. Because he was bluffing.
He thought he was bluffing.
thought he was
and Ricky
bluffing.
noticed that.
Yeah. He just couldn't beat a bluff.
Yeah.
Darn.
Your blind, sir.
He's got, look at this now. David's got his celebratory dinner there. What's he munching on there? Let's see what he's noshing on. Oh, the kebab, the world
The
famous.
Euro plate, actually.
That's the Euro?
Yes, because it has the salad with it.
Oh, so
but
they
it
call
is like
that-
the kebab plate,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, they call it kebab if you get rice and Euro if you get salad.
Yep.
All right. Looks
Raise it at
good.
10, guys.
But in essence, it's the same
Same thing.
Yeah.
Raise it.
300 total.
Raise it at 35.
Wayne raises it. Doug 3 bets. Really light here. Wayne 4 bets and Doug snap folds. This is why I was really surprised that.
All right, guys.
Who was it that just like sort of Wayne was the one who snap folded Ace King earlier, and he was wrong. This time he chooses to 4 bet, and he's right. The aggression frequency in this game is very high. They're all playing tight, aggressive poker, just like really good poker. Here's the V-pips. Only Lewis and seat 1's out of line. Ricky's just had a lot of hands. Everybody else, very tight. Michael, basically non-existent.
I didn't know what it meant before it doesn't matter.
And then you can see their pre-flop raise numbers are very high too. Like they're all just like their VPIP and their pre-flop raise numbers are very high. So they're smart.
Find the button.
They're raising. They're only coming in with real hands, and if they're only raising when they're coming in, and they're using position well and everything else.
Players are playing above the rim
Yeah.
in this game. Not usually playing this well at this level. So if you're
The
playing at
building
this
is
level right
definitely
now,
my preference of
personally,
the
you could
two.
learn a lot from a lot of these players.
I'll leave those 3 out. It's all good. Let's make it 10. Heads up.
Louis raises.
20.
C bets, gutter. Nate folds. Nate had just protected out of the blind with ace-7 suited. I'd be more likely to 3-bet there. I don't know. I don't think that's a good hand to just protect with. Doesn't have very good playability, but it has good blocker, 3-bet structure. Also considering Lewis is by far the loosest player at the table, so his opening range is very wide. The flat check fold, I think it's probably pretty weak poker there. I think he could remove that from his game. If he's not comfortable with it, just fold. Just fold. Doesn't
Let's make
matter.
it 10.
You're not losing any money just folding ace-7 out of the blind.
Eighth Wonderful Show on Twitter says, what color chips are what denominations? Good question.
Not really.
Sure it is. Abe likes to crack himself up. Eighth Wonderful Show. Don't listen to him. Yellows are 5s, and white and pinks are 100. So those are
Check.
the 2 main chips you'll see in this game. And then sometimes you see little white and blue ones. Those are $1 chips. So white and blue is $1. Yellows
25.
are $5, and the little white and pink ones are 100.
And The big, shiny, tan one, that's not a chip. That's the top of Joel's head.
Three-way action.
Big pot, 127 bones. This is only a 2-3 game, and it's playing like it's playing the size of a 2-3 game because nobody's straddling. It's not playing like a 2-3 game. It's playing more like a 5-10 game. So everybody is very buttoned down and playing their A game. These are all students of the game.
75.
David makes a play for the pot with his open ender. Nate has nothing. John has an ace and a jack. So John is going to be coming over the top here. We assume. However, he's been very tight passive. But he's only got like maybe 225 bucks. I mean, he basically has one pot-sized bet.
He's probably going to fold it.
He has less than a pot-sized bet. This is one of those sort of like just like shrug move-in things.
He's probably going to fold it.
Because
what is he thinking about?
I don't know. Maybe,
what are you thinking about,
maybe
John?
He's trying to look weak.
John, what are you thinking about?
He's trying to look weak, I guess.
Do you know you have top two? I only am giving John a little HELL because he's been super tight thus far on the show. Folded his ace-queen instantly prior.
Yeah, see, he did it. He did the shrug push all in. That's that's
oh,
all you can do. That's all you can do is the shrug all in. That's all you can do.
The guy could have a set, but I guess I better with ace-jack, right?
I would have probably took the shrug out of it. It was sort of a joke. I was saying it's the classic shrug all in spot, and he actually did the shrug all in. I would have taken the shrug out of it. I mean, if I was him, I would have, the second that the action was on me, like, while Nate, while Nate was folding before his cards even stopped moving, I would have already pushed the chips in. That looks super weak. Because people who are strong just never, ever do that. So I would have been prepared because I would have had a chance to already watch all these guys act in front of me to put on a little show, and I would have given the weak player show. He gave the strongest of strong player shows. And that only works as a reverse tell, but you can't give a reverse tell to somebody you've never met. I would do the shrug all in with somebody who I know really well, who I know thinks that the shrug all in is very strong, and so then they read it as weak because they think I'm giving the reverse tell.
It's really hard to follow all that.
No, it's easy.
Okay.
Big blind, please.
The reverse.
Sometimes you have to do the reverse.
Okay.
But only if you're playing with regulars.
Okay.
These guys should never do a reverse.
Okay.
Well, maybe Wayne and like Dornfeld. They've played a lot together. But the other ones, they don't have enough hours.
You heard it here. Let's take a break. We'll be back after this.
Let's make it 10.
Let's make it 10.
Let's
the
not
man
and say we did.
says. Worm makes it 10 under the gun. He's quickly called by David. David's a little tilted. This is not anything we've seen or come to expect out of David. Cold calling a raise with 6-7 off makes no sense. Like, just 0 sense.
17.
Now he sort of has a really crappy gut shot. The reason it's a really crappy gut shot is because even if he makes it, he doesn't know if his hand's good. But he's going to... Wow, David got tilted hard from that hand. Wow, getting check raised there just tilted the bejesus out of him.
He only had like open-ended, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he had nothing.
Yeah, he had open-ended, but folding it somehow sent him off. He just tried to light 50 bucks on fire there. Try to light 15 big blinds on fire there. Just 15 big blinds, just light them on fire.
Thank you.
That's a lot of big blinds.
Throw it in the trash.
You
can't. You don't need it.
Yeah. No, you can't just be lighting 15 big blinds on fire.
Wipes his ass with it.
Lighting 15 big blinds on
C3 is
fire
adding on
basically
100?
destroys 2 hours of work.
Now he got another 100. He's going to have to organize that one.
Yep. He didn't like that stack because it's disorganized.
God bless you.
Can you give me 40 in yellow?
Topping off to 300. Doug?
Yeah, just 40 more, whatever that brings it to.
Doug's adding on 40 more. Topping off to 300.
Everyone's
Make it 15.
topping off right now. Wonder who they think they're going after.
Well, David just added on, and then everyone added on after him. David.
Hearts. Exposed.
Like,
Apparently they think he's tilting, as he might be a bit.
yeah. Or,
60.
they come on live at the bike for training, and you're going to get a lot better training if you have the max buy-in because it's going to more mimic situations that you'll actually find yourself in. If I was, for some unknown reason, forced to sit in this game, I would just have the absolute minimum and be drinking profusely.
You'd have the absolute minimum on the table? You'd have 100 on the
I'd
table?
have 100 into beer.
No, you wouldn't.
I would just be waiting for my table change.
You'd have 300 for sure, no matter what.
No, 100%. If I was in this game, I'd have $100 in a beer. It's just like the players are too good. You're just like, well, these aren't world class. Yeah, but it's a $2, $3 game. They're too good for a $2, $3 game. If the blinds were 20, 30, and everybody had 3,000, well, then yeah, you could start exploiting some weaknesses, and the $10 you made here and there would be worth it. But exploiting weaknesses in this game and the dollar you make here and there isn't worth it.
It is the straddle.
This is training only. This game is good training.
25.
But the training that I would get if I saw it would be like, oh, I'm going to train myself to go to the table next to it. Look at that. Live at the bike. Plastered across the felt. The black felt battlefield. And they are battling tonight. I mean, these guys are going at each other in a very methodical, well thought out ways. No spazzing, really.
I kind of like when they spaz.
I know. I thought the most exciting thing that happened tonight, I read the board wrong, and it wasn't even exciting. I thought a guy made a good ace-high call down, but it was just one guy bluffing with the best hand and another guy sussing it out but calling with the worst hand. Michael has raised with aces and just wins. David folds ace-jack suited, so David is off tilt. David was on tilt for exactly one hand.
Let's see David. Yeah, I bet he's busy fixing his
Eating.
stack. Oh, no, he's eating. He
eating.
did not even fix that stack.
He's more interested in the food than his messy stack.
He's got work to do.
If he wouldn't have been eating, he might have played that ace-jack suited, as strange as that sounds, but it is true. A lot of times when a super action player gets his food, he won't even look at his cards. And then when you get aces, you're like, oh, why me? I finally get aces, and the biggest action player at the table just got his food delivered. He's not even looking at his cards. He's just folding them out of turn. That's like a bad beat from the waitress. That was a waitress bad beat.
15.
Matt takes it down. That's 15. Button over in seat 1. 2 3 blinds. 100 to 300 buy-in. No limit hold'em.
Richie C. asks, how much is the rake? How do I answer this? Here, it's easy. There is no rake, and that's the absolute truth. There is no rake in California. It is a drop. So the rake is 0.
So you're
The
not gonna
drop,
answer.
however, is 2 big blinds ahead.
40.
And that's why to play in a game like this, it has to be juicy.
Very juicy, and you always have to come in raising.
Yeah.
Can you spread that pot for me?
Okay, just making sure.
One blue chip, please.
Wait, Doug is going to get
How
smaller.
many players?
Some people might be asking, what's the difference between a rake and a drop? A rake is a percentage of the pot, usually capped, unless you're playing in a private game with hookers and blow, and then it's uncapped. A drop is a dead amount of money that just goes down the drain no matter what.
I'll find out in 10 minutes.
In California, they use a drop because the house is not allowed to be involved in the gaming, meaning if you take a percentage of the pot, you're involved in the gaming. You want the pots to be bigger. But if you don't have any stake in the gaming, then you're basically just charging rent for everybody to sit.
Let him do whatever he wants.
It's peri-mutual.
Oh, no.
What?
You had to put that in there.
What? What? I was giving a little,
It was really nice. I was just going to say, that's a really nice
most people don't
explanation.
know these things.
Yeah, then you had to add Perry Mutual in there. Shut up.
I didn't either.
I was just going to say, that's really nice, Abe. That's a nice little description.
Oh, it was even better when I added in
Perry Mutual.
peri-mutual.
I disagree.
Most people enjoy my little history lesson because they say to themselves, I had no clue that there was a difference.
Jack and Diamond exposed.
You use a lot of descriptors like most and
Yeah.
in the world
No.
and all, which I tend to
No, I don't.
have disagreements over.
No, I think most is fair. I think we could poll the audience and most would have been like, yeah, that was pretty interesting.
I think we could poll the audience and most would be like, oh, you had me until Perry Mutual.
The Solster, at the Solster on Twitter asks, why does Wayne constantly check his phone? It's not like he has any friends or anything.
Wayne's got lots of friends. That's not nice. Wayne's got lots of friends.
He does. Wayne does have a few.
Actually, Wayne's so sweet. He probably has way more friends than
Considering that
any of
Wayne
us.
tweets me all hours and texts me all hours of day and night,
Check.
I'm going to put an over-under on his number of friends very low.
he just really
10.
likes you.
Yeah. I really like Wayne, too. Truthfully. He's quite a character. He's very unique.
Doug and David actually playing
25.
two random hands, and David bluffs Doug off of his 9. Doug got right on the phone. He's got tweets.
Yep.
Got tweets. Lots of tweets.
Got a tweet. Got to get some tweets out there.
Got something to do. Really busy.
He was like, no, he's actually deleting a tweet. He was just about to tweet like, "Hey bros, watch Red Chip Poker Pro Doug Hall on Poker Central." And then he's like, I just got thrashed for 2 buy-ins. Delete.
Someone who quoted it, now it says underneath there's this tweet has been
This
deleted.
tweet has been deleted. Yeah.
10. Wayne, you need your cards? Yep. And one blue chip, please.
I don't think we really need his cards considering he picked it all up. He just picked up the blinds with looked like pocket yaks. Worm's asking for a round of straddles. It's not a bad idea. Trying to get this game out of the muck.
By worm, he means Ricky.
Richie C says that the guy in seat 6 is Drunken Uncle, and I've actually said that on the last time he was on. I said that he was a dead ringer for Drunken Uncle.
On Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, and he is. The guy in seat 6, Michael, He looks exactly like Drunken Uncle.
You have to Google Drunken Uncle Saturday Night Live to see what he's talking about.
Oh, Richie C., you're right, but you're late to that joke. I said that either last week or the week before, whenever he was on last. Maybe it is him. We do have George Lucas play most nights. So having Drunken Uncle would just be another celebrity, another poker luminary to add to the mix here at Live at the Bike. Well, everybody's got a hand here.
85.
Doug 3-bets to 85.
Position now?
Louis is staring him down. Asks him if he's fishing. He doesn't look like he's fishing. Louis wants to see a flop. Maybe this is his favorite hand, ace-9 suited.
85 total.
Maybe he thinks Doug is FOS and he wants to ship it in. Louis only has $241. He basically only has one move here. It's all in or nothing. If you did think that Doug was FOS, this is the ace-9 suited hand is a pretty good hand to go after him with. I would maybe want something like ace, whatever. It's an okay hand to go after him with. Because like you get called when he has kings, let's say,
Thank you.
and yeah, still got some equity. He folds all of his bluffs, which had a lot of equity against your ace-9. He folds some hands that are beating ace-9 that he decided to turn into bluffs.
Doug moving back up, riding the roller coaster.
But I don't think you have a lot of reason to believe that Doug is out of line enough to really be getting into those mind wars right there. And Louis says, fine, no more mind wars. Just going to sit back and relax. Take a stretch and a bend.
Right now we have the same VPIP.
0 and 0.
21.
21. Interesting sizing from David. Guess there was a straddle on.
Yeah, is the straddle on now?
It was.
Okay.
Still a little large. I often, when I play in smaller games, love to over-raise as well. And it seems like the whole table is doing this, so it's just kind of become standard.
Yeah, apparently Ricky Worm got the table to start straddling a little bit, but the game is still in the muck.
I did say what I said. Really not going to do it? I'm not going to do it.
Lewis, they were going to do a round of straddles, but Lewis is refusing to straddle, which is interesting considering he's the loosest player at the table. He must just not like straddling, which is fine. And he gets aces. He so wishes he straddled down.
Oh, my. That's karma.
That is karma.
Right in the keister.
It was a round of straddles. Lewis refused to straddle, and then he gets aces in what would have been his straddle, which is like the dream of all dream scenarios, to get aces in what would have been your straddle. Because everything's going to come around you at double what it normally would come around to you at, and your play is always going to look like a squeeze. It's just a cream dream.
Karma in the keister.
But he gets a little bit better cream dream here because John has queens, but it still would have been a bigger cream dream. It's still a smaller cream dream than it would have been if he would have had the straddle on.
So what size cream dream would it have been?
This is a medium cream dream.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
This is like a one toweler.
Okay.
It could have been like a three toweler. We'll see. It still could be. But we haven't seen John like to get out of line. But Louis has such a little bit of a amount of money here. I think John probably will call him.
Louis has 223 behind. John's already put 75 in. Yeah, I can't imagine John folding.
The main person he's going to lose money to here on the cream dream scale is he's not going to get as much money from Nate. Because if he would have straddled, Nate would have opened bigger. John might have flatted or raised. Doesn't matter. Lewis would have raised. Nate would have still went out. And he would have got more money from Nate. So, it's not like the end of the world. Unless John folds here. He just can't, though. He wants to, though, but he can't. Come on, there's nothing to think about, buddy. There's nothing to think about. It's like,
and we can see the cards, and we know this is insta call.
We don't care. We don't care. Yeah, we know he's behind, but it doesn't matter. Oh, and there's an ace right on the flop.
Boom shakalaka.
How many times have you seen that today?
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Now they're all telling him that's what you get for not straddling.
I do, huh? I got paid off. Yeah.
I think if you would have straddled them.
Yeah, there would have been like $18 extra in that.
Yep.
Oh, I would have gotten out of line.
That-
I would have gotten.
That's filling up half your gas.
$45 free.
It's okay.
Bite her to bite her.
Thank you.
Rubbing it in, the table is.
Yeah, they're all rubbing it in that he didn't straddle and it cost him $18. Like, somebody figured out quickly. I think his Dornfell's like, it cost you $18. It's actually pretty much true.
$18 is a lot in this game.
It is. I mean, that's 6 bigs.
That's a lot.
6 bigs is, 40 minutes of work.
Okay. He can think about that while we take a little break. We'll be right back after this.
Pink helmet. Right?
What's happened? Did you guys communicate in a non-English fashion? How much only
We're
the game?
ganging up on your straddle.
It's
It's
45.
about the locks, isn't it?
So Wayne straddles, and somebody opens for 45.
Michael, that's like I said, he just
Huge,
over raises
yeah.
every hand.
Drunk Uncle makes it 7x on a straddled pot, which is the equivalent of opening for 14x of what they had been opening for. Drunk Uncle does not want to see a flop
Ever.
ever.
Blinds, please.
First time I don't straddle.
Yeah, aces, huh?
You'd have been at least $12 more.
$40 hand.
That would have gone.
Three times.
Doug Hall texted and said, by the way, Nate is not a student, just a friend.
Oh.
Clarify.
But you say you're just a friend. You say you're just a friend.
In
Oh,
good
baby, you.
And bad times.
You should have been my
I'll
student.
be on your side.
But you say you're just a friend. But you say you're just a friend. Pay me my hourly or get away from me. Doug Hole has got to eat. He has got to eat.
That's what friends are for.
Wow. Okay.
That was nice.
I like
What do
the
they call that? A harmony?
That was a mashup.
No.
Mashup.
Evelyn said no.
Because you were singing a different song than me.
Oh, I like it.
It was a mashup.
Okay.
But I like the fact that Doug had felt it very important that he clarified this. He must be afraid that Nate's going to make some horrible play, and he doesn't want to be held responsible. Nate's actually playing pretty good. Or maybe Nate is a very, very good player, and he's afraid that Nate will feel insulted if, he's now Doug's student. Maybe he's the teacher.
Thank you.
I don't know. So much to unpack there.
Is there a rule in this casino who shows their hand first? There's no action? Is the last aggressor or?
By
No.
position.
They need to change it, but it's not.
They're down there talking about who shows their hand first, which is like an endless argument every
Because
single
LA
day.
is just so backwards. Well, actually, not LA. Some of them have changed it back now. But it's really a stupid rule.
To make it easy so I don't have to remember who the last aggressor is.
They're not doing last aggressor here anymore. They're
Yes,
doing,
they are doing last aggressor, which is bad.
Joel just said they weren't.
What? They changed it?
That's what he just said at the table. He
No.
said, I don't have to remember what last aggressor is anymore. Live from the beautiful Bicycle Hotel and Casino, located conveniently off the 710 freeway. In Bell Gardens, California, the poker capital of the world. Sort of. We got the straddle on now. This game's trying to get itself officially out of the muck. It's like the little game that could. Trying and failing. It's like Sisyphus. Is that the guy who tries to roll the ball up the hill and it keeps rolling back down on him? Sisyphus?
Yeah.
She just said yeah. Do you know that?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. You're no
Well,
help
why
at
do you
all.
say it then?
Well,
Nobody knows it.
You always
When
say.
you ask me
no,
the
'cause
question.
You always say,
is
"Oh,
that
you
the
didn't
guy
know."
that rolls the ball up the
No.
hill? And I say, yeah. He said, you don't know.
Well, because you always say, "Oh, you don't think I know anything." So I asked you, "Is it Sisyphus?" I'm trying to
you asked me knowing that I don't know.
How would I
That's
know
a
whether you don't know?
Stupid question. If you know that I don't know,
I don't know you don't know because I don't know whether it's Sisyphus.
You knew
I think
didn't
it's
know
Sisyphus.
because you said you don't know.
No, because I could tell by the tone of your voice that when you said yeah, you didn't say, "Oh yes, that is Sisyphus." And here's some details about his life. He lived in ancient Greece and blah blah blah. Now let me see if it really is Sisyphus.
Nobody cares.
Brian Van Norden does.
20.
Ricky makes it 20. Brian Van Norden, where has he been? He's late tonight.
It is Sisyphus. Look at it.
Nobody cares.
Yes, Lyman rules. Boom.
Brian Van Norden's missing out tonight.
Look at this hand. We got Wayne and Ricky with big hands. Ricky raised it to 20. Wayne 3-bets. What's Ricky going to do? He 3-bet to 110. Wayne has $484. If he calls here, it puts like $250 in the pot, and he has 310 left. It sort of just is a call spot because your check raise all in is like going to be less than a pot size. It's going to be like a nothing size bet. So it's more. I like the call. I like call, check, move in. On an ace or king high flop, like check, evaluate. Wayne knows now though that he's probably in with the pair. He could, or Ricky could open ship here.
Check.
If he doesn't think that Wayne's his c-bet percentage is high enough, which is what I would have thought too, that Wayne's c-bet percentage is just not high enough. Now he should give Wayne like a fool's gold type price. The pot's $251. He could bet like $95 or something.
$93.
It creates like a crazy situation where there's so little behind on the end that maybe he can get a call from ace high. And that's exactly what he does.
That's 110.
This is really, really good. I love this. Love, love, love this. See, because now Wayne's like, oh, man, I got probably have 6 clean outs, and I'm getting 3-1, 4-1.
Nope.
But he doesn't chase it. Wayne is just like, that was a great play. It's not great against Wayne. Wayne's he's a professional poker player ostensibly. Ostensibly.
I heard you.
I know, you're so annoyed. It's actually the correct word to use in that sentence. He's ostensibly a professional poker player, and I would have played that hand the same as Ricky, except for one thing. I would have led the flop. You know how we say, like, oh, the donk lead's always viewed as weak? Yes. And that's why the donk lead is the best play in that spot. Because he knows his opponent has a ton of equity against his hand. And he also knows his opponent's just going to take the free card after he calls. So it's better off making the donk lead and having your opponent make a mistake by thinking that nobody donk leads with a strong hand. That's how I would have changed up that hand. That's the only thing I would have done different. Now, once it goes check, check, the small lead is the play. And people were asking me on Twitter today about all these small bets I'm always recommending, and I'm giving you some ways to do it here. The other thing you can do is min 4-bet pre. That's a strange one unless you're going to fold to a ship. You have to. That's like not. You only really do that if you think that your opponent's range is completely polarized to bluffs in the nuts, and you know exactly what to do on the next raise. I don't like that one in that spot. That's usually something you do when you're like, okay, my opponent either has a bluff or aces. I have ace-4 suited. This is a good spot for me to click it back because I have a lot of his ace combinations blocked, and so his range will be a lot more bluffs in this spot. This is stuff that, if you're actually thinking about it, a much better thing to think about is table change. But because I've done nothing but play poker for the last 15 years, I think about this stupid crap.
15.
You talk a lot.
That's my job. Otherwise, it's just like silent.
Raised to 15 from Ricky.
If we turned up the table chatter on some of these shows, I wouldn't talk at all, like when Armenian Gary was here.
Yesterday,
they're afraid.
Yesterday, we turned up table talk, and there was a lot of chatter, but this table is extremely silent.
Yeah, that's why I got to do all the talking for them. I mean, if we had some chatterboxes down there, I'd just say, turn it up. I'm going to go have a beer.
30.
30 from Ricky with bottom set. John now who has ace-6, who folded his ace-queen like nothing before. Going to look him up one time at least here with ace-6.
Yeah, as the game goes on, everybody gets a little itchier. A little itchy. Itching to see one more card. Itching to see if they can fire one more barrel. A lot of scratches that need to be itched.
45.
See how itchy he is. I don't think he's that itchy. I think he just sprayed on some Tinactin.
Tough acting.
and the itch has gone away. I think this is the live at the bike Tinactin moment. How itchy. Oh, he's still really itchy. He didn't put the Tinactin on. Very itchy. Oh. And now it's like, how does he fold now? I mean, what was he putting Ricky on that is winning now? I guess the way you fold is you just don't think Ricky has the balls to ever three-barrel a bluff. But I mean, there's like, what bluffs are there? There's no draws. If there were any draws, they came in. He has a wheel.
What I love to see is that Ricky continues to bet. Oh, maybe he won't. I really hope he continues to bet here with. Oh, he bets.
120.
Okay, 120. Sometimes people will shut down because it's a one-liner to a straight, but there's just no way that your opponent has a 4. You should always continue to try to get value from exactly these kind of hands, aces.
Yeah.
Maybe someone made aces up.
Yeah, that's what you want him to have, aces up.
We need to update John's stack 'cause it says he only has 95, but he actually has 200. I can see there. So 120. So we updated his stack on the fly. It still says all in to call, but it's not. The bet's 120.
Yeah, John, here's what John's saying to himself right now. Like, well, I got this far. Why is my hand bad now all of a sudden?
Poker Sniper on Twitter just says, just saw the hand on Live at the Bike where a player who is shoot, he does call. John calls with ace-6, which I'm so surprised here.
Yeah.
When he just insta-mucked the ace-queen for a small bet prior. Poker Sniper says, just saw the hand on Live at the Bike where a player who eschewed. I know you'd like
How
that
mad are
Lynn.
you? Bad? How mad are you that he?
No, it's okay. He can
no,
do it.
No, why
Yes.
can he do it?
The straddle picked up aces under the gun. Was lucky someone else had queens.
You have to be tilted out of your gourd
He-
that he wrote eschewed.
He did it for you. You know that, right?
Oh, good. Thank you. I like it when proper words are used. There are certain rules to the world. There are certain things
We're
that are
not
the
on that again.
yes. There is what's known as best practices.
Lewis, I need chip seat 7, please. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know what caused John to just all of a sudden decide to spaz out there and lose all of his money, basically. He had been so tight. I guess he just got bored. He just got an itch, man. He just got an itch and couldn't find the tenactin. Now he's tilted. You can tell by he's looking up, he's looking down, he's talking to the poker gods. He's he's grabbing the bridge of the nose, scratching the temple. Ah, yeah. He's thinking to himself, what was that all about, John? We sat in the parking lot. We talked to the rearview mirror. We had a plan. We're going to play tight tonight, John. We're going to play tight. We're going to do all the right things. Ace, queen, snap, fault. No, my demons just keep coming back. They haunt me. That's
One-man show, ladies and gentlemen. One-man show.
Hey,
Take it on the road.
it's not my fault that I can read his mind. I am the eye in the sky, looking at John. I can read his mind. Alan Parsons Project.
Take it on the road. I also drew a nice little caricature of Abe.
Oh, oh my Lord, that is so that is so racist. That is so racist.
How is it racist?
I don't know. It just is. Okay, tweet it out. Ask. Tweet it with a poll. Tweet it with a poll. Is this racist?
No.
Do it.
This is a picture of you. This
No,
is
but
not racist.
do it. No, but tweet it with a poll. It'll be hilarious.
You're not the boss of me.
Do it because it'll be funny.
No, you're not the boss of me.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Tweet it with a poll. Say, this is a picture I drew of Abe. Is it racist? Poll. Yes, no. We'll see what the audience thinks.
Well. Call.
I look like Oates from Hall & Oates. I look like Oates. That's what I look like. Oates.
Where is it? 65.
65 is a 3-bet from Matt. Matt's getting jiggy with it with Queen 9.
Can't believe that exists in the world. What goes on in your mind?
I'll have to listen to you say all these ridiculous words. And I draw a picture of you.
Yeah, so you draw a picture of me looking like Oates?
This is what you look like.
I don't look like Oates.
Everyone sees things through their own lenses.
I guess so. Your lens is like burning crosses or something.
Looks good.
Unreal. Wow.
If you guys want to see it, you got to check out my Twitter.
Now I've seen it all.
My Twitter handle comes up before break.
Raise it to 15. Call. Heads up.
Right now, Abe is furiously posting. How much do I get if I say you're putting the poll out? That
I can't.
need to.
I can't put a poll on it because when you quote a tweet, I won't let you add a poll. That's funny. I might make that my profile pic. That's really good.
Your pinned tweet?
Yeah, that might be my pinned tweet. Your drawings.
I always wish I could have been a good artist. I just never was.
Yeah, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
You have other pictures over there. What are those?
I got some balloons.
balloon
I got a truck. Wayne. Heart.
You're like a 13-year-old.
It's all I can draw. Like I said, I have no talent in that area.
35.
Doug. What's Doug doing in here? He's got a gutter.
Doug's got himself in the deep end again. Doug, you know, he doesn't back off, that's for sure. Doug isn't a backer offer.
He's going to back off here, though.
Yeah, this one. He usually likes to, when he starts down a road, if he gets a run out that he likes, he'll continue. This run out wasn't
Thank you.
the greatest, I suppose.
Nice guys, please.
Can we show the camera my picture of Abe? Will they see it?
It's like everything always has so much glare.
Let's
Maybe.
see. We'll try. We'll see if they can see. This is like, I mean, you have to just be proud of the talent that you have. And I think it looks just like him. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh.
Look at it. Look at Abe. It looks just like him.
Yeah, it looks like oats. It don't look like oats.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
$11, guys. Yep.
Very quiet on the table.
Yeah, this is like
Yes.
the most serious 2-3 game in the history of 2-3.
Yeah, yesterday was awesome. We did turn up the table chatter and let them just talk, and they had a lot to talk about.
This time, if we turn up the table chatter, we just hear the horrific music, that like ghostly music that plays in there.
Actually,
for no
it's
reason.
good. I was hearing some songs, but I didn't want to get like copyrighted, so I didn't sing them. But there was some good music today.
Had too much money in front of you?
Yeah, too much. Gotta go.
One stack over
Lewis made the double through with the aces, booked a win, and looks like he's going to head out, take his win on the road.
You got the next
He's going to get on his Harley Davidson and get out of town with that win. Congratulations, Lou.
He's in Hawaii? Thinking of the next Star Wars? They should really take his input.
3 to call, guys. I feel like it's like a long day today. Raise it at 10.
10 from Wayne.
Wayne trying to pick on the blinds again. It works.
The worst game he's ever seen.
I think there was only one blind for him to pick on or something.
Seen you play this game before.
Huh?
I've seen you play this game before.
Yeah, I played a few times.
I think you were playing much higher though.
Play a little higher than this. I don't play much higher than this.
Higher than Joe?
Now the players are letting each other know that they've seen each other on Live at the Bike before. Bunch of subscribers and regular watchers here, as noted.
Like we knew, since they're all playing pretty good.
$10.
Yep.
Nice piece.
What are you yawning about? I had to get up at 6 a.m.
I had to get up at like noon. It's horrible.
Three to call, guys. Okay. Raise it at 10.
All right, we got a little hand going on here between
Heads up.
Nate and Doug, friend on friend action.
friend. No, yeah, just friends.
Check.
Just friends. Doug wanted us to make it very clear that they're just friends.
Doug is not his coach, because we did mention that earlier.
Yeah. We don't know why they had to be so adamant about that.
Well, probably Nate's like, hey, bro, I don't need a coach. So don't say that.
It was like some sort of sore spot.
Raise it at 15.
Ricky, becoming more active as we move along here.
Ricky.
Raise it 40.
Ricky's been one of the more active players at the table tonight, but in a pretty controlled way. 27-18. Solid numbers. Now that Lou and C1 left, everybody's really, really tight aggressive at this table. Like, everybody. Lou was the only semi-loose passive, and once he left the table, this thing is just ratcheted down. It's all going to be raises and 3-bets, and here we go. Raise 3-bet.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody say hey, yo.
Ricky smartly folds. He had a good raising hand, but he has a really bad hand to play against a solid 3-bet, which you feel you're getting from Matt. Matt is very solid. He's playing 12% of his hands and raising 100% of those, so his stats are 12-12. If you think he's getting out of line at all, King Jack is a good hand to 4-bet with because of all the reasons we've discussed in the past.
You need better spies.
I heard from 3 people you had queens.
No, but you found the website where you
These guys should all pay me like $10 to go out on the floor and find them a
I
player.
have friends that have.
Last time on the last one, I went out on the floor and found them Armenian Gary, who bought it for $16,000.
There's a bunch of
That's the
books.
only thing I'm good at, finding players.
big enough now where people
I bet you I could go on the floor and have like Martique in here in like 10
Watch
minutes.
almost any TV show you want to.
Tell him just the right thing.
What's it called again?
Stream to watch.
I'm sure Poker Central is very much appreciating this conversation right now.
Hey, can you get a sign on the marker? We can let everybody else know.
He's got it loaded up right now on his iPad.
It's not stream to watch. That one wanted my credit card number, and I wasn't going to do that. I just Googled Poker Central, and something showed up as live stream. I said, okay, click on it, and it starts playing.
We're talking about how to steal the live Poker Central stream.
Put it in the middle of here.
Well, if one man doesn't get it up, another man will.
Oh, God.
Exactly, screwed.
No, you guys turned over on the turn.
A lot of good table chatter there. They haven't. Nobody at the table has said a word in an hour, and the first thing they talk about is how to watch the Poker Central stream without using one of their devices that you're supposed to use.
All right, guys. Heads up.
But it's good that we're getting out to more people. If you're watching us from an illegal streaming service right now, feel free to go to liveatthebike.com and subscribe.
22.
Enter the passcode
A poker.
criminal for 7 days free.
For 0 days free.
Call.
You were behind.
Oh yeah, of course. I doesn't call him because I put 10 times.
Wayne and John going at it.
Wayne not backing
65.
down. Applying pressure. Trying to get a 9 to fold if he needs to.
Not going to happen.
But John doesn't have a 9.
John had a gutter, but, you know, now it's a 3 flush board. So he's not going to play that. I guess Wayne was just sort of bluffing with the best hand there. Sort of a combo bet, though. It's a combo bet in that... maybe it just wasn't. It was an attempt. It had some combo bet possibilities. I would have to know more of what Wayne was thinking about the psychology of his opponent.
Lewis, gentleman wants 100 behind, top off to 300. Seat 7.
Everyone's topping off. Topping yard.
Raise it to 10.
Getting that money out there.
I'm not being serious. If you want to leave,
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to care.
And John was going to. He had exactly 300, so he's going to take the other, like, 40 away. And Matt's like, you can just play it. Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
nobody cares.
And John gave him a little sheepish grin, like, what does that mean? Am I the fish? Like, what is that?
It might mean he's the fish. They just saw him make that call off with the ace, and they're like, let him have a little more money on the
Well, they
table.
need to know.
Probably not. Matt was just being nice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he saw his face like, oh.
C5 top off to 300.
No, it's 35 on.
add it to 35. Now he's got 335. He's violating every rule.
Well,
I really am.
Well,
Three-
isn't his purchase say top off to 300? Because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's
But
not
it's
what
not
we're doing.
300.
Same
Would
thing.
you tell your girlfriend you had 4 inches?
I don't know. Well, you know, first of all,
I'm at 327.
we're supposed to be only 3 guys. That's
I know.
answering your question.
Good job.
Yeah, you guys add up. That's fine.
Everybody's adding on 300, and some of their stacks are
No,
going
we're- I'm
slightly
just telling you
over
to tell
the cap on the game, which is 300, and so they're all sort of
Yes.
jawing about whether they should or shouldn't be allowed to do this. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about like an extra 40, but I mean,
Nobody's trying to like get over on anybody. They all just sort of want the maximum on the table in case lightning strikes in a bottle.
That movie catches a lot of shit, but I still like it.
What?
That movie.
They catch a shit by who? Fuck them. I'll kill them right now.
Top it.
I know.
That's the best movie.
New movie.
I keep Googling like every couple months around this too. Like, when is that coming out?
Yeah.
It's like all these fucking memories.
Now the conversation at the table has moved to rounders, which always
Wasn't
happens.
there one of them that
Since Worms
it
at the
got
table.
written and it was so terrible? It was, it was a couple movies came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, Lucky. That was
Oh, it was horrible.
Now they're talking about Lucky You, which they have decided is horrible.
it is.
Which I agree. It's
Every
so bad.
poker movie is terrible, especially compared to Rounders.
Yeah, in general, yeah. I mean, there's some sort of. I like the movie California Split. I think it does a pretty good job.
That's the Ben Affleck movie. Or
Runner,
yeah.
Runner's horrible.
Lucky
It
you.
was the Rounders.
Lucky You's horrible.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I watched the one.
Yeah, it was the
Then there's the old ones like Big Hand for the Little Lady. They're not really poker movies. They're just more like whatever.
ESPN show. 2015, like right after.
With that.
With the Matador.
35.
And the girl that won.
3-bet to 35 from Nate.
They write a TV show
after the button opened, and David just quickly calls.
You don't know how honored I feel when you said that on here. I'm like, that's why I came dressed. I'm like, okay, what do I have in my wardrobe?
Just be like, I counted these. 40.
Nate bets his draw, gets David to fold his overs.
Thank you. Blanks, please, guys.
But Matt Damon always teases it a little bit. Like every couple months he says something like, oh yeah, we're like meeting or like meeting with the writers.
Well, they all want to do it, but like Koppelman writes for a show. I forgot which one. So it's probably not going to be for a while, but they have to be thinking about it.
I mean, they've probably got it in their head what the
Yeah,
what it would be.
it takes
The
a long
game's so
time.
much different now, though. I don't know if they can make rounders now.
Well, the latest I heard was that they were gonna like the script was gonna follow them two again, Warren and Matt Damon, whatever. In the new age of poker and see how they like held up.
Raise it at 10.
Huh. Yeah, I wish they would make another rounders. I'd watch it for sure.
Well, yeah, every poker player would watch it. I don't know if it'd be good, but every poker player would watch it for sure. There was a little mini boom after the first Rounders movie. That's where I came from. I was part of the Rounders mini boom.
You came from the mini boom?
Yep.
Like the Big Bang, kind of? You just
There's I had already played poker in college and stuff, but like only like semi seriously, I guess you'd say, for very small stakes like frat houses and stuff. I saw the movie Rounders and I was like, oh, I got to find these little casinos and see what's going on in there. Maybe I'll be the next Mike McDermott.
No, this is
No, it's
4 or
really
5 years
old. Like Full Tilt sponsored if it tells you anything.
It's an animated short, like
But it's still
videos
holds
like
up
5
today.
minutes or something. It's just
Yeah.
Is that the one where there was a girl in it? It's like
Yeah.
3 days
Balls.
ago?
balls.
I don't know.
There's a lot more poker in Oregon than people think because it's legal in like social clubs,
okay.
bars.
But they just don't have actual
Rated at
poker
12.
rooms.
No casinos, yeah. Recently, the poker in Portland got shut down, and it's a huge deal. People are freaking out.
Yes, sir.
Because the way that the law worked is you couldn't actually pay anybody or take any rake. So all the dealers are volunteers, but then they get tipped. They work off their tips, and everybody knows, like, you have to tip good or else we have no dealers. So it's basically like a mandatory tip. You can't choose. It's like a mandatory minimum tip. And there's no rake or drop. You pay a door fee. And the door fee has nothing to do with the poker, theoretically. The door fee only has to do with, like, you hanging out at the social club.
For you to get in the door.
Yep.
3 to call, guys.
Like you would do at any other club.
Anybody want to play live with the bike?
And
Liz! Live with the bike! Come on!
the bets couldn't be over, I think it was $100. So the way that they got around that is they structured everything as a tournament. So that way
They can bet as much as they want.
you could bet as much as you want, and you would just all when you cashed out at the end, what they considered it was your tournament winnings. So they had all these workarounds for every law.
They still do, by the way. They do something like that in Minnesota. I know at Canterbury, if you play cards there, you can't play no limit in Minnesota, which is just ridiculous. But anyways, they get around it by having these tournaments, one table satellites they call them,
Right.
and they run for like 3 hours. And the buy-in is $3,000, and the blinds are like $510 or $1020.
Right.
And if you get
wanna buy some
stacked,
more
you
and
can buy in for the
100,
highest
whatever they have.
chip amount.
Right.
And it goes for 3 hours, and that's it.
And then
So
you
it's
just cash
basically
out,
a cash game, but they're saying it's a tournament.
Yeah,
for-
because it has a specific start time and a specific end time.
Yes.
That's the same thing that they do in Oregon. Exactly the same.
I'd buy them from a camp bank.
Matt Coons on Twitter says, LMAO at you guys. You have way too much fun on this show. Love it, guys.
40. They're going to
Thanks,
give it a
Matt.
second, guys.
We love you.
Acting. Drama.
Okay, Jack,
And there goes Abe again. The one-man show.
What? I'm not a one-man show.
You
It's
are
a
a one-man
one-man and one-lady show.
But you're the one-man show.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
You're just there? I don't think so. Who would draw the cartoons?
That's right. It's true.
So when Matt Damon and Johnny Chan like go back at it with the raise. Is that pre-flop or post-flop?
That was pre.
That part was so funny because I just couldn't let it read that.
Did you say it's pre?
Yeah, it was pre. They never
Anybody?
got to a
Anybody?
flop.
Yeah, never
And there's
saw
no way Chan folds without seeing a flop.
No iPad, no headphones.
So I bet $10. It's
You don't just
post-flop.
I'll take it.
blind raise and then think you're getting a
You think it was supposed to?
It's post-flop. I'm
Right to the
saying it's
tip.
post.
And
I'll bet you
C5, please.
$10.
$10.
$10.
How are we gonna
$10.
resolve
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're having an argument down there about whether the Johnny Chan hand is pre-flop or post-flop. It is post-flop, and nobody knows this.
Only Abe. Good thing you guys are here
Yeah.
right now on Poker Central with Abe
Yep.
Lyman. He's the only one in the world that knows this.
No, I've won this bet so many times.
You're the only one in the world that knows that. I know.
Because there's only just like a 3 little frames where you see that the flop is out. It's just like a very tiny quick thing where you see the flop is out. So everyone thinks it's happening pre-flop. They're like, it makes no sense. Nobody would fold for one more bet. But it's post-flop. There's a board.
How many times were you at home like freeze frame, like 1 millisecond freeze frame,
No
1
comment.
millisecond freeze
no
frame?
comment. You're like a bully.
No, you're the bully. You just
You're-
can't handle that I won't be bullied.
You're like a bully. You
You
make
hate
fun
it.
of my knowledge.
You hate that I
my
won't be bullied.
quests for knowledge, my constant quest for knowledge. I just wanted to know if there was a flop, and yes, you have to rewind a couple times
And freeze frame it.
and freeze frame.
Like let it go for.
But Wayne just bet with Doug Hull $10, and Wayne is going to win $10 on that bet. Doug thought it was pre-flop.
Oh, he caught us hanger, Sarge.
Caught a hanger, Sarge. Exactly. This has turned into the Rounders game because Worm's here.
15 more minutes.
Check. 15.
Doug always gets himself in trouble on double ace boards. I'm not sure. Here he goes again. Last time he tried a double barrel
Yep.
on this board against Wayne, and he's doing it again. I'm not sure why.
He just thinks that his opponent doesn't have any aces in their range, and they're going to wilt under the pressure.
But what happens when the board pairs like that? And let's say you have a 9. Aren't you more likely to call because the
Yeah.
board is double paired? You don't think your opponent has it.
Yeah.
So it's not a good bluff spot.
Check. Check.
Yeah, there's sort of like a classic, maybe it's like, I don't know, sort of
We'll just tell you our hand.
classic common knowledge type situation where you're supposed to attack paired boards. I don't know that that's true anymore.
Well, not paired ace boards. There's something innately different about paired ace boards.
It's actually better for the game.
Pointier. They're much pointier.
Yeah.
Much
it's not that.
pointier.
It's just like it's only 3 hours or 2 hours.
Except paired
So it's like it's
fours.
better
So
for the game
paired
when
fours,
it's all riled up.
paired aces, pointy.
Just you, I'm sorry.
What's that? I don't know. I'm listening to somebody else.
You're big.
Doug is not a happy camper tonight.
People are
Doug
running
is
money
thrown
in,
the
like,
entire party tonight. He's down over 2 buy-ins.
It's so much better.
Poor Doug.
Poor Doug, and it's not his fault. Well, I mean, one, he bluffed off, but the other, he got unlucky with aces versus kings.
None of his bluffs have worked,
Raise it.
and that's one buy-in. And then he got unlucky in aces over kings, and that was his second buy-in.
Raise it.
But you probably should be
35?
bluffing a decent amount at this table because it's so ratcheted down. It's just like every time he chooses a bluff, his opponent just has it, which sucks for him. And it turns out to be an expensive night for a $2, $3 game, losing $700, $650, whatever he's down now.
Check. 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 65.
How about Mississippi Straddle? Anybody like that?
Table is discussing putting a Mississippi straddle on, try jump up the action. It'll actually kill the action in this game. There is no action in this game, but if there were any, it would kill it. Because people aren't going to loosen up out of the blinds.
How about run it twice?
Everybody could do round of straddles, yes, but not done straddle.
You can't run it twice.
I understand, yeah.
The only time that a Mississippi straddle loosens up the game is when there's already loose players in the game. Because they're going to make so many mistakes out of the blinds that it actually, really increases the size of the game and increases the amount of money flowing from bad players to good players.
Raise it at 10.
In a game like this where everybody's basically a good player, on the nitty side of good,
I'm there.
It doesn't. Yeah, it ruins the game even more.
Nothing will happen. Like the game will come to a screeching halt.
Clearly see 3-card flop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they asked.
The thing that would loosen this game up would be an ante.
The team that would loosen this game up is an ante.
That doesn't. You could have aces.
You're like just sit there and look at your phone, and then
That loosened
Yes.
this game up is an ante.
that I'm making a good point, and there you are, being a bully again.
The team that would loosen
I would have.
Well, I already won the.
You were
I
like one of
already
those
won the bet
mean
against two
girls in
people
high
that
school.
were just
No,
like,
actually, I was
I
opposite.
mean, and I tell people
You're the
ahead of
mean
time,
girl.
like,
You're
you
trying
want
to
it's
put
up
it on
to
me.
you.
No,
Yes.
I was.
Jordan was
I
the
was
worst, 'cause he
I
like,
was the one that
super
just didn't care
emotional.
about
Like, I care about these things, especially that round.
anything or anyone. I just had my own friends, and that was it.
There you go.
Heads
I'm
up.
like, you can back out anytime you want.
Elon Cohen says, my caricature of Abe Lyman looks like a bad sketch of Prince.
Yeah, it does look a little like Prince. It does. Prince or Oates.
I
You
think
haven't
it
seen
just
you
looks
can back
exactly
out
like
that. I
you.
give everybody that
No.
opportunity.
Maybe if my name was like Leroy.
It looks exactly like you. Like, I couldn't draw it any better.
I believe that.
An hour left in the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
That it was post flop. or
Raise it at 10.
flop, when Knish is like, yeah, why are your aces or kings? And then it was like, I'd rag.
Call.
They're still on rounders.
Well, because they bet $10 on it. Huge action.
On round, what did they
Would
bet
make a lot
$10
more
on?
sense.
The one that I already settled, whether the Johnny
Oh.
Chanham was pre-flop or post-flop. I already settled it as
Because you
post-flop.
know everything.
I just know a lot of
No, I can
things.
start it right now. Like,
Not everything.
everybody's ready. Raise it. 45. They hit the gap again.
I just want to see them
45.
going. I know you're full of shit, Mega. My ass. They would have been running around. It was a what? 40 on the. That's like the Mega.
How much is that?
45.
Catching up on my social media.
I'll go look myself. What's that?
If you guys haven't found our Instagram
Call.
yet, go check it out. I'm trying to build it up.
How much?
Are you
45, guys.
Instagramming some chip stacks?
I'm going to Instagram a picture of you.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding.
It's only supposed to be chip porn on Instagram. That's it.
Action here.
She said. See, there's a good song going on.
Yeah, Foo Fighters. We're not. But why are we listening to like a ghostly Foo Fighters in the background?
Well, because we're not at the table, so we just barely hear it over here, but
They barely hear it over there too.
they can hear it.
It's more
Something.
annoying to them.
I think it's better than just having like a dull nothingness.
They should pipe in the sound of like chip
You
shuffling.
think so?
They should pipe in the sound of the ocean.
Yeah, whales.
Brr.
One up there, Father Jack.
What is that?
A whale.
That's not a whale. That's a dolphin.
You take one?
I know no whales that sound like that.
You take one? No.
It's like a birthing whale.
Yeah, well, you didn't know what the whale's doing.
3 to call, sir.
What's going on with our peeps? They got nobody on the board for a 2-3 game? That's not possible.
Yeah, why don't you look it up in Poker Atlas?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's like an atlas for poker.
What's going on? Where's my board?
Where's the atlas?
Here it comes. Loading. It's loading. Please wait. But you should go out and advertise. Is there a board for the other 2-3? My poker atlas is taking too long because my Wi-Fi is. There's 3 names on the board for 2-3. So he should go out and
Yeah. What are those people
hustle.
doing? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they're just sitting there.
No limit, seat open.
Game of the future.
There's a seat open. You want to play?
Good job, Dean. Good
No,
job.
they're just yelling
They're trying
in the
to.
hallway.
They're trying to do the job.
Immortalized on YouTube forever when you get bluffed out.
Yeah.
11.
Did you for sure win the bet?
I'm going to rounders right now.
Is it $10, right?
Yes, $10.
So
Check.
we're back. They're talking about the bet.
15.
They're all watching the scene from Rounders and going forward and back like it's a frickin' Zapruder film, trying to find out if it was pre-flop or post-flop.
Which you've already done.
Was that reference okay as a Zapruder film? Do you know what I'm talking about, Nicole?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Sometimes I worry that you're going to be mad at me. You know what the forward and back? You know what I'm referencing?
15.
I already said yes.
I know. You're like very touchy about this subject tonight, so.
That's because you're a tool.
No.
Scott Witt on Twitter says, I thought Mississippi Grind was good. I never saw that.
What?
Yeah, Mississippi Grind was actually sort of good.
It's about poker?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you should side bet these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. It's definitely much better than like Lucky You and Runner. It's not really about poker. It's more about blackjack, I think. No, it was about poker. Yeah, it was about online. The guy who got tried to start online site, whatever. I can barely remember it. Justin Timberlake was in his
I'm
fourth.
definitely out of this bet now.
Okay, I'm saying what's whatever Wayne says.
That was Runner, wasn't it?
Yes, the hand with Johnny Chan is post flop.
I'm going with whatever Wayne says. So. All right. Yeah.
Doug has kings. Let's see if he can suck out on aces.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. See if he can crack some aces.
These guys could have just saved all that time and just asked me. Doug wins nothing with kings. So tilting.
He's got an itch.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
Okay.
Very itchy.
Right there.
Wayne is pointing at the flop now. He's sending it over to Doug.
Boom.
Doug's getting the bad news. It was post flop, and he has to pay Wayne $10. Oh, he just got kings and won $3. He has to pay Wayne $10.
He has to pay that plus $7 to win.
Yes.
I tell them after I win, I'm like, you could use it on anybody else. It's out of principle for me.
He hasn't paid him yet.
Yeah,
We're going to be on payment watch.
Yeah.
See if Doug actually pays him.
We got to see the $10
make sure
ship
they're
over.
on the TV show so that we don't get action with this.
They're not good. They can't.
Wayne, Doug is now saying that he hopes that nobody can hear it on the TV show so he can get action off it against someone else to get his $10 back.
Joke on that one.
Oh.
Call.
Actually, not.
It has to coincide when they're not talking.
Oh, we laughed only because it was so bad and off. It was just offensive but not funny. It was just like.
Usually he has a pencil because they're pretty funny. Like I hear him out here.
Yeah.
Heads up. Check.
Are they talking about the Scully joke? What joke are they talking
Yes,
about?
they're talking about the Scully
It's
joke,
like, whatever.
which I actually did
30.
find funny. But it was more the situation than the joke. The situation was just great because we waited all this time.
What was the joke again?
I can't repeat it. It was
can't?
really dirty.
Oh.
And it didn't seem dirty though. It seemed like, oh, this cutesy joke and this like grandfatherly looking guy.
And the punchline was
It's just super dirty, like really sexist and homophobic.
And I tell people you can back out at any time before we actually go to the clip.
Oh, it's
Yes.
I'm such a bad prop better. I'm like, you can back out any time, the millisecond before we check.
That might have
Ten down.
added
That would have been a sick like needle though. If they back out, you make them,
35.
and then there's like
10 from Wayne,
25.
35 from David. Great attacking late position openers. See why it works so well. You just can't play out of position
Thank you.
against 3-better. Without premiums, which you often don't have when you're opening late.
You bet on how much the foreman weighed. That is really thin. I mean, I lost the bet, but $5 or whatever it was. But then the next day, now I know exactly how much he weighs. So guess what? First day,
I love Doug's laugh.
the next day I'm like, I keep doing that.
Yeah, Doug's a pretty jovial guy. Likes to keep it light. He understands usually, what makes a good game.
138.
It's a customary deal all the season.
Somebody asked me to deal them in, I'll deal them in.
Well, if he asked you, that's fine. I just didn't know if
No.
you guys got a lot of strange rules.
I know. $10, guys.
Wayne raises it up with Presto, pocket fives. Gets 3-bet
Raise it.
by ace-10, and now Michael wakes up with ace-king. Is he going to throw in the 4-bet?
Yep. He smashed it in there practically before the 3-bet.
Yeah, and they both just snap fold. He's like, bam, bam.
Something for Michael to think about when he goes back and watches this, because this is Michael's MO. I said that in the very beginning. He's just massive bets. No, that situation, it was fine. But he raises so big in spots that he's just never going to get action from any worse hands, and it leaves him. I can't imagine he can end up a big winner at end of nights playing that way. So I wonder how Michael does if his game is making
Well, I was playing 40. I just said 10 out
a
of
large amount of money at his game, and if he's not, I think that's a place that he can start to look like. Lower the bet sizing a little bit, see what happens with your game.
Michael is exceptionally tight and aggressive, but his bet sizing is very big.
God, you're a nit even when you've got a
$10.
block.
What do you mean? I offer you guys to back out.
3 hands in a row. Wayne makes it $10. This time Doug just calls, doesn't 3-bet.
This is the type of hand that you can call.
Heads up, guys.
Has good playability, and you have position. If you're looking for the types of hands that you don't have to 3-bet a late opener with.
$10.
And when you whiff, you just whiff.
Nice, please.
I wonder if Matt's the only person I'll ever believe.
When you whiff, you whiff.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you have it.
I don't know if I've watched that one yet.
What are they talking about now? Which movie?
Yeah, it doesn't mean watched it.
I don't know.
Like, watching it later, I don't even remember half of the show. Or drunk.
They're talking about the drunk live at the bike that Doug did when he was like really obliterated.
Uh-huh.
And he said watching it later he couldn't remember half of the show.
Love it.
Did he win?
No, he was in the booth. Remember?
Oh,
I
the
think
first one he did.
Yeah, I think
see.
Cyrus came in
Yes.
and we like had like
You
so
and him
many
and Cyrus,
drinks.
and I was doing cards.
Yeah, it was like a complete disaster, but it was funny and it was fun. But Doug forgot, though. He couldn't remember it when he watched it back. Lightweight. He looks like a big, rough and tough biker.
Did he win?
I thought it was Bruno. I thought it was Bruno who did call.
Nit of the night so far is Dornfeld. But
Standard.
9% VPIP and raising 100% of the hands he's played. And then Michael with a 10% VPIP and raising basically 100% of the hands that he's played.
Matt is at the end of the night, but also winning the most. It says
Yeah.
he's down. That's wrong.
Raise it to 12.
He's up over a buy-in.
I think Ricky might be winning more. Ricky has a lot of chips there. But yeah, Matt and Ricky are the big winners so far. We got a lot of show left. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this beautiful evening in Los Angeles, California.
Those are emotions.
The what? Oh, I don't think so. That was only a Foxwoods thing as far as I know.
Just put it straight in the trays.
Oh, yeah, but they carry their own tray.
.45 minutes left in this 2-3 no limit hold'em game.
Getting to see a lot of good poker tonight, guys.
Every-
Good.
Everybody has a minimum of 300 on the table, so nobody short stacked here. There's all the chips.
No, it still was.
So bigger game now.
Pulling their chips.
Everybody's been topping off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like all the
Like
big
I
dealers
said,
went over
I wouldn't top off in this game. You didn't believe me. I'm telling God's honest truth.
Abe said he'd buy in for the minimum
The absolute minimum and just drink.
and have a beer.
Everybody's too good for a 2-3 game.
Why?
Now, if I was coming though, like if I was really gonna like coming to learn, which these guys are, then obviously I would buy in for the maximum and play my heart out because it's more fun to watch back later when you're trying to make moves and see if you got the game flow right and see if you're in the moment.
Nah, I told my friend Charles just side into the side.
Yeah, here in Cali, majority in Cali is just they keep their own. Except for the two UT the girl, right? The one thing.
I'm too relaxed.
You're too yeah. Look at you just kicking back. I'm all serious.
I had to get up at 6 a.m. with an alarm clock, which I haven't had to do in many, many years.
Well, that's you had kids, and then you know
That's what happens.
that's what you got to do.
And life is over.
I agree.
So I'm going to let you take it away.
All right, take it away. We'll see you after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That's right.
Sir? T6. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, man.
Need you to see your cards. You spread them out a little bit more to the center. Thank you.
Seat open.
Seat
Raise it.
open.
52.
Seatopen.com.
Didn't want to wake you up this time.
Cool. Heads up. $85. Cool.
David and Doug going at it.
All in.
David's getting it all in a spot where Doug's probably not going to fold.
377 all in.
377 total. Doug has almost that. Still a very tough spot. You don't expect an opponent to just be bluffing here with a 10, but at this table, the advanced play, Doug really trying to feel it out. The advanced play, it's happening. So good play from David.
I'm gonna call clock on you. Shit, you got it. Yeah, you got aces.
Matt,
I'm gonna find
what
out
do
in
you
10
not
minutes
understand?
anyway.
In 10 minutes from now, you're going to notice.
Okay. What was that on that board?
Matt, what did you?
Top
You're
pair
like,
and
huh?
the inside straight up.
Okay.
What? On
Flop
Twitter?
with the inside straight up.
You
All right,
said, huh?
guys. Good luck. Take care, guys.
You really have kings?
Yeah.
On Twitter.
No, I had jacks.
Looks like we got a new dealer coming in.
Yeah, we just missed on the break. Actually, an interesting hand. Look at Doug's face because he's not happy.
Sad again.
Sad Doug because he just got bluffed and
Dig Doug.
showed.
Oh, see, that's what some people should be doing. Like, remember earlier I said don't show that you have a good hand because everybody sort of has good hands. They're all playing super tight. Show some bluffs. Get this game out of the muck.
Well, David just made a great play. He flopped a gut shot draw, and he turned a top pair with his gutter. And he shoved on Doug when he hit his top pair. Doug had an overpair of jacks, however, but he folded. It was basically equal stacks of almost 400. So Doug's pretty much hating life right now.
And David showed,
David did show.
and he knew that he was bluffing.
I don't know, but I'm going to assume yes.
Maybe not, though. If he had top pair and a gutter, why would he think he was
People
bluffing?
make fun of me with their
Oh,
still
they were
works
all-
off that
oh,
guy's
okay.
name.
That'd be interesting to find out.
He's like asking me, anyone ever call you this or that? And I was like, yeah. And then I gave him a list of the other ones.
You were way behind where he had, so it's just.
Some of them matched.
Yeah.
He didn't even have the right last name.
Joel was chasing me down in the
What?
hallway while I was trying to take my leak.
Why was Joel the dealer?
Yeah,
Why was he chasing you down?
because we're going to have a golf outing with the Instagram game.
Oh, on the 29th?
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So those of you who are going to come play in the Instagram
10,
game, if you want to get in on the golf match beforehand, Brian on Instagram, what does he go by on Instagram, Brian?
Bry Poker, I
Bry
believe.
Poker is
Something.
organizing it. Bry Poker and possibly Matt Dornfeld. And
Is his Instagram private like his Twitter?
I'm sure it is. Who
He's
knows?
got lots of secrets.
Lots of secrets. They're all hidden under his beard.
Lots of secrets for that one.
So yeah, go to Bry Poker on Instagram if you want to be part of the golf match. It's going to be fun. We're going to, have some gambling going on. We're going to put together some teams. It'll all be fair. Nobody's trying to hustle. It won't be any like
Except for Abe.
I mean, I'm going to win, but
But he's not going to hustle. But he's going to win.
I'm just
He's
going to
not
all
gonna
I'm
hustle.
going to do is just set up a bet where I can't possibly lose. It's
Yes.
not wait,
There's
what?
not hustling.
What?
What do you expect?
No, actually they're going to be teams, so there's nothing I'm going to be able to do.
A gutter for both these guys. Doug check raises with his gutter. Never like going for a bottom end of a gutter that'll hit a better straight when I hit it.
Yep. 100%. The 10-jack gutter, great gutter. The 5-4 gutter, shit gutter.
Poops. It's poops.
Fecal gutter. The 4-5 gutter is like something you would actually find in
Uh-oh.
a gutter.
10.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The 3-bet.
Wow, everybody's just beating up on Doug. Oh, everybody's just like beating him into a pulp. Poor Doug.
At least they didn't show that one.
Should have. Just add insult to injury. Ew, topping off. Topping off. There goes
Chips,
Doug.
though.
I
He's
think the
topping
shirt must say get stacked.
off. Yeah, I think it
300
does
on
says
top.
get stacked.
Twitter bragged at me.
It's a wrong shirt choice for today.
What? No, he's like, hell, I added you to the reply.
Everyone's going after Doug, including the deck, because he just got smashed on that getting his aces cracked by kings.
He's got to go outside, have a little cry.
Yeah.
Come back.
He tried 2 bluffs that didn't work, and then 2 people bluffed him, and it did work. It's like everything's going wrong for Doug tonight. He's down almost 3 buy-ins, which is,
In this game,
it's tough.
Said I won.
really tough to ever get back.
Basically
12.
impossible because it's a cap game. You'd have to go into like serious God mode. And in this lineup, I'm going to say it's literally impossible.
That's what I mean.
Cap game, tough players, average VPIP 10%,
Yeah, I might
never getting it back.
Thank you.
And a looky here.
There's stuff going
What's
on.
that?
What is it?
Are you? I mean, I'm actually
Live
on
at the
with
Bike, the greatest live poker show
I'm on live with
in the history of the world.
Yeah, I'll talk. I have to charge my phone. I'll talk to you about it later. Yeah.
Like I said, he likes to use those kind of descriptors.
You disagree?
In the world.
Do you disagree?
I don't know the whole world, but I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
what are
really
the other
good.
live poker shows? Have you ever seen the one Kings?
Kings.
Yeah, it's another live poker show. It's out of like England or something, or Kings Casino. It's so bad and it's so unwatchable. It defies like all logic.
All poker logic.
Yes.
15.
Open-ended and 8 high. 8 high was the one betting, and now he hits an 8.
John never really makes an attempt to win this pot. Now he's going to.
35.
Wayne, however, is extremely suspicious because why would this be happening all of a sudden? Is he range merging? Is he merging queens here or tens?
35.
Correct.
No. Would he check behind a monster on the turn? No. Did he check behind, like queens or tens, and now he thinks I can get some value out of this? And it works. Wayne levels himself into a fold.
Thank you.
Oh,
Level.
He told me to go to Hawaii. He's not going to get his cell phone. I don't know. Now you could be calling me. You're lying.
That isn't a good range merge spot. I don't know what Wayne was thinking about, but if you were thinking about that, it's not, because your range really isn't polarized there. It's mostly exactly, it's not like bluff nuts type spot. It's more like bluff medium strength hand type spot. That's the type of spot where sometimes you'll see a very sophisticated player check raise because your range is basically capped because of the fact that you took the free card on the drawy turn.
No, no. That's your small blind now.
Yes?
I've actually seen.
Is that the end of the story?
No, I was trying to think of who the last person I saw do it on the show. It was Bruno was the last person who sniffed out a spot like that and put in the raise. And it worked easily. No, sometimes they don't work for Bruno, but that one did.
Poor Bruno.
I would definitely be check raising in that spot.
$15.
15 from Doug. After David limps with a premium.
Heads up.
Seat open.
Doug looking for some
Jumbo.
retribution.
We had seen David go with limp re-raises early in the show. I think he probably planned on limp re-raising that.
20.
But since he just bluffed Doug, decided to rethink. Second spade on the turn. Ooh, look at this spot. Vindication.
200.
40 from David. Quick 200 from Doug. Quick call from David, and Doug gets some money back.
Oh, he gets a little back. That went bang, 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 bang. Very fast action.
The kicker was back.
Thank you. Thank you.
David eyes his chips that just went Doug's way. Everything's looking a little rosier for Doug.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't compare anything to this. Well, not this. This.
Doug's talking about LA games. He's like, no, but not this one.
Yeah.
But overall, the games here are much better.
Yes, this is not the game that you're watching is not like any 2-3 game in the history of the world. as far
Of
as
the world.
Yes.
I don't have like
Have you ever seen a 2-3 game like this ever in the casino?
Only on Live at the Bike.
Yeah, only on Live at the
They're
Bike,
all
yeah.
of our viewers.
But I mean, if you go sit in any 2-3 game in all of Los Angeles,
In all over the world. Anywhere
and
in the
probably
entire
anywhere
world.
in the world,
40.
it's not going to be anything like this. No chance. Zero. Because basically pro and semi-pro players don't sit in the 2-3 game.
But they do on Live at the Bike.
On Live at the Bike, they come like the 5 semi-pro and pro 2-3 players in the world come and play on the Live at the Bike.
In the world.
In the world. They come play on Live at the Bike.
Where do you look?
And then they play a very high level of poker. But you would never see this in a 2-3
so
game.
like in October, if I come out, it should be fine.
I mean, we got players. This is the VPIPs: 26, 25, 14, 26, 11, 13, 22, 8. I mean, it's just unreal. They're all just playing tag poker. No one is out of line. There's not one out of line player at the entire table. Doesn't mean that they're all perfect or, like world class, but they're all just in line. They're playing in line poker.Ey're playing profitable winning poker.
Sunset going through the desert. And it was actually
And when everybody's playing profitable winning poker, it means nobody's winning. But Doug just keeps losing, and so that helps.
Luckily for them, Doug's losing
Luckily-
enough for 3 people.
Luckily for them, like the most known professional poker player at this table is the one throwing the party.
And that happens.
It happens, yeah. I've thrown many parties.
I like a good party every once in a while.
through the desert. It's kind of dead by the time I get out here.
Two 3 blinds, 100 to 300 buy-in.
That looks like a fun ride.
The minimum on the table right now is over 300.
Yeah, I mean it's getting a little bit old.
10.
But yeah, I like it.
Every time I'm in my car, I'm like, I want to try a motorcycle. This would be cool.
Do you know how to ride? Okay, you can learn. It's
C1 has a bike, extra bike. He's going to teach me and do all that. The
Just-
guy-
Matt is
take
now
the
talking
course.
about
45.
Lewis, who was here earlier, and he is saying that Lewis does have a bike,
California, they have
and
Yeah.
that he was going to teach him.
a certified course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really good idea to take that.
Stereotype confirmed.
He's going to take me out riding and show me more.
Yeah, you definitely want more after you've done that, but the course is exactly what it is.
Small blind, please.
I think we put 20 miles on in a circle in the parking lot over the weekend.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's what it said, like 2 8-hour days. You got to get there at 6 in the morning
Yeah.
or whatever, and they have a training bike.
Yeah, and people dropping the fuckers all over the.
Oh, really? I bet. I'm sure I'm going to.
They put crap. No, you won't.
No?
It's usually like underweight women that can't hold the bike up if they stop unexpectedly.
Have the same body type as underweight woman.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Matt just said he had the same body type as an underweight woman.
Well, I don't have to say anything there.
Just
The person that dropped
ragging
their
on
bike was
himself.
like a 70-year-old
It's
or
good.
50-year-old
You have to do
woman.
some self-deprecating humor every now and then.
Saying there's a
They
chance.
have the
Thank you.
like the MSF, and then there's usually a Harley course. Just take the MSF. The Harley one, it ends up being a big. You pay more. and it's
Okay,
not just
folks,
sales
last
for the
break of
whole-
the night. Nobody wanted to tweet us, or did you want to look at Abe's picture? This is your chance.
We've got a bunch of tweets tonight.
Oh,
But this is the
that's true.
last chance to tweet.
Yeah, that's true. I like more tweets.
Okay,
Tonight,
more tweets.
tonight, I like more tweets.
Okay.
But you're all out of time, so don't do it now. But we'll be right back.
Yeah, it's all legal.
10. White lining is legal.
Yep.
Some guy was I could have took my hand out and just touched him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Heads up.
Stolen his
Well, no, they'll clip your ears.
What song is that?
Love Boat.
If you mess with them,
And it's such a horrible rendition. I can't believe I got it.
you know, flip the mirrors in.
It's a whistle. How can it be a horrible rendition when it's a whistle?
Because you could like whistle well.
You do it then. Let me
I
hear
don't.
how
I'm not a good
you're
whistler.
the best whistler in the world.
No, I'm the
I don't
worst
think- I don't
whistler
think
in the
either
world.
were damaged, but you definitely hear
That's
them.
why I wouldn't even attempt it, because I wouldn't want to hurt people's ears like you just like hurt my ears.
It's beautiful.
Do you have a Harley or a Honda?
No,
or
it's
something?
a Honda Shadow. Yeah, it's a good first bike.
What CC?
It's 750. Now that
Check.
I've got about a year under me, I could see wanting a bigger one, especially coming to LA every week or every month.
King High is good. Take it away.
It's a little uncomfortable, and I can like downhill farting all the way.
Does it say Northeastern University?
Yeah, never heard of
Yeah,
it.
It's the opposite of Northwestern.
Northwestern is a university that I have heard of. Northeastern is a university I have not heard of.
Sister schools.
I doubt it.
Just wanted to sound like Northwestern.
Maybe it's older.
I don't think that'll be.
Maybe it's better.
No, they just don't have as popular of a football team.
Fast is, on the trip to LA. It's just
One of my
like,
friends went to
it is
Northwestern.
flat and or not empty, but
I know some people went to Northwestern too.
He's really into it. He goes back every year for like their big football game. Boo.
It's a lot of sands.
There's some solar
10.
panels now.
I was wondering what that was. I saw like this one thing reflecting light and a bunch of rows. I couldn't see what it. I
always
know
seems
it was
like
a solar
agriculture.
farm.
Yeah.
Huge solar
35.
farm.
it always seems like the sun is reflected in your eyes from that thing. I don't know if it's always moving. Yeah. Yeah.
No, they said it. They said.
So more 3-bets in this 2-3 game than you're just ever gonna see in your life, and 4-bets.
If I remember right.
One time I can't. It wasn't from here necessarily. I was going out to Vegas for the series, and I saw a big wind farm, and I don't know where the hell that was. I mean, it was
Out
just
by Palm
huge.
Springs area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Palm Springs. Not me.
I
That's when you go
also,
over Whitewater on the tank, and when you go over the hill
Okay.
and go into Palm Springs.
Well, it was going out to Vegas that I saw. Yeah, I can't remember where I was. I had played at Golden West that day, and then went to Vegas. I don't know. It's some card room. It's in my records. I think I just needed a cup of coffee and to wake up, so I pulled in there and flopped some sets, got paid, and got some coffee, and then kept going. It was like 6 in the morning, and I just needed to wake up.
We got stopped at an agricultural checkpoint.
Oh yeah.
The first 3 cars, they were just like, "Come on," and then we pulled up. It's like,
Oh,
hey,
you got stopped? Checking for those
we have
parade.
we have
farmer.
out-of-state plates. So she was like, "What are you guys doing?"
I never get stopped, but I don't think I'm smuggling a lot in the saddlebags.
The first time I ever came across that, we had like
What is an agricultural checkpoint? I don't understand.
wave me through, please wave me through.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of tonight's
Different
intense
different things
poker action.
out of the country.
15.
End of the night, Matt Dornfeld. He has played 8% of his hands and raised all of them. But he's winning,
$1.
which is all that matters.
Yeah, they're border patrol agents.
Doug.
At the end of the day, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Big blind win.
On the roads leading into
But when they search for
There they are.
search your stuff and they find drugs,
The V-pips.
The tightest 2-3 table in
but when you're in
the world.
they have the
So
Period.
that's technically an international
Period.
check?
they're like
call
really
it
far
like-
inland.
If I said period again, that would be an
No, but I
ellipse.
mean, I
That's
know
how
they
some
can.
people bypass them. Like you see the people on YouTube, they go like,
I'm just ignoring you.
that card, like
Yeah.
you can't.
Where am I away from No, it had to be within. It has to be within 100 miles of the border. The problem is, almost everywhere that's populated.
They've entered a very, very interesting table talk about
I mean, they're all the ones I see where I live. Most
checkpoints,
15.
agricultural checkpoints. So that's how exciting it's gotten down there. Tearing the roof off the game tonight.
YouTube videos are funny. The guys get out there some.
Doug makes a really big open to 15 in a 2-3 game, a 5x open with sixes, but gets a lot of action. Is this game now officially out of the muck?
Yes.
Well, we're almost over, so
And had to deal with that
probably.
every day. You'd start getting creative.
This is the loosest hand we've seen all night by far.
Check. Check.
Wayne has all of it with queen 5.
Check. Check. Check.
10.
He has a 10. Pair of 10s. Pair of queens are better than 10s.
I thought he was betting 10.
Meanwhile, Doug's looking at the hands that call 5x, and he's like, what? What table am I at?
Almost followed your hand.
Normally, I would have just picked up the
I didn't
blinds.
know what I was gonna do, but I just assumed it was not they flipped it over.
I think 5x is too big of an open in that
Shut my
spot.
hand- I'm like, I should have just quickly said call.
I want in, Matt. Yeah? Give me your email.
I think you need much fewer X's. You don't need 5X's. You need much fewer X's. You just wasted a bunch of X's there.
Oh, when.
Golden West Casinos in Baker Street. That's what I never.
Okay, yeah. And so let's see where that was.
People go there voluntarily.
I just needed coffee and a set.
Did you hear, Doug?
Yeah.
Just needs a coffee and a set.
That's what he needs, a coffee and a set.
That's pretty good.
Raise one time. Jeez.
That was 40-60. Come on.
What? No, Matt.
Oh, man.
It's the button, and he won't steal anything. Me, you know.
It's even my big blind. I've folded like 99.
Okay, so if I was there and going to Vegas,
Prospect number 58? No, I'm looking the wrong one.
oh, okay.
Doug?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you went through the 58.
Yeah, Doug says it's on me. Hold your horses.
10.
Doug's sick of life tonight. Everything went wrong for Doug.
Heads up.
For what?
I'd actually 10 till 10 because of the 10-minute delay.
Stream's almost over.
Check.
Wayne
10
probably going to
bucks.
semi-bluff here, and he does. Picks it up.
That's how you do.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a card one.
Oh, slot.
Yeah. I think there were two tables going. I mean, it was like 5 in the morning on like a Wednesday or some shit.
Tunes are really picking up too.
So bad. So bad.
You guys should have seen Name's face just
I
now.
know, it's like,
I
hear
looked
the
over and I
music.
thought he was dead. He might have died just a
Yeah.
little right there.
It's like the ghostly, ghostly bad music in the background. It reminds me of like when, like, for some reason or another, you're in like a grocery store at like 4 in the morning. There's like just like some little music
Yes.
playing in the background.
Elevator music.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It like serves absolutely no purpose.
$15.
The opening's gotten really big for some reason. Everybody's 5Xing it now. Probably because of the straddles earlier. causes people to just when you throw in a couple rounds of straddles, then people will go back to just big opens. Everyone just gets used to a larger standard size amount of money in the pot. It doesn't make any sense, but it just happens that way. Now we get a 3-bet from Michael with ace queen.
Like 2.5.
And Michael has played 9% of his hands, so the fact that anyone's even thinking about this makes no sense, and they all fold.
Michael, by the way, played 9% of his hands. Is still not the nit of the night.
He's still not the nit of the night. 3 hours of poker. In 3 hours of poker, he's played 9% of his hands, and there's still a guy who's played 8%.
And that's him right there.
There he is.
There he is.
The crazy man.
Blinds, please.
I didn't think you were honestly tempted.
I think he limped one time. Limp called him one time. Flatted him, right? The other time, folding or making it 40.
David going for the limp. He likes to limp re-raise, so he is protected here. He expected somebody to raise behind him when he limped with queens. Nobody did, which is very surprising. I get what David's trying here. He feels like people are just punishing the limpers every single time, but then both times he's tried to limp, the last 2 times with big hands, nobody tried to punish him because they saw him limp re-raise earlier, quite possibly, and because they just don't have much. But, I mean, Michael should have raised, but I think that, like, people seen him limp re-raise, and when people see you limp re-raise, it does free you up to limp some hands and not take pressure off of you.
Just,
Take a breath.
What?
you know,
Take a
there's
breath.
Why?
around poker tables.
I was trying to explain something.
Yeah.
Don't you go back to looking at your phone. That's you're like looking at your phone. I had to like do the entire show because you're looking at your phone the whole time.
Did you not hear I had to get up at 6 a.m.?
I can find out
You
you're
had to
like
go back to sleep.
This is what it feels like. Usually I'm Abe, and Abe is the other guy
Yes.
that he's picking on. So now you got to feel what it's like to be the other guy.
Oh my lord, it's great. But usually, like the other guy is not paying attention, but tonight you're the not paying attention one.
Oh, I'm paying attention.
Okay.
I may not look like I'm paying attention, but I'm paying attention. 2-3 blinds. Action folds over to everyone. Chop it up. One more hand
This is it.
for the night, unless it's another chop, and then there might be 2. We'll see.
The final countdown.
They might copyright that. Uh-oh, edit it out.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get a big one. Let's get a big one.
So we can cut it off before it's over.
Yeah. The best hand of the night, and goodbye. You can watch us on an illegal streaming device, but it's over.
Wayno. Did Wayne win tonight? Good.
Sure ends in 10
He
minutes.
had a rough go of it for a little while.
Like his life.
So it's almost over.
Poor Wayne. See, Wayne's you in the situation.
No.
And I'm you.
No.
And that's what you get.
No, because
In your face.
Hey,
He
Matt.
folds, he folds.
Matt, 15 is the raise.
He might call.
Floor clock.
Matt, no, 0. He didn't even have to look at both cards.
He's playing 9% of his hands, so yeah, no.
Matt only looked at the jack and said, well, there's no other card that I could possibly have that I'll play in this spot.
Another jack, he would just never play.
Never
play.
Never play it. He didn't look at, he just like look at one card. He's like, if the
He
first
saw
card, he
his
said,
hand.
he said if the first card is lower than a king, I'm like, oh.
Not quite.
He's playing 8%. He might fold jacks there.
Well, thank you for joining us, even if I was very sleepy.
Yeah.
But
I
don't
had to-
worry, Abe talked your ear off.
I had
so
to pull all
A
my
lot of
weight
weight.
and all of your weight.
it's good for you to have to work a little bit every once in a while.
It was good for me. Felt great. You'd like wake up every 15 minutes with a snarky remark like, Snark.
We'll be
Snark.
back next week. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.